Welcome back to the viewers at Ting Kwong Road Recreational Ground for the first innings of Game 2 of this World Cricket League Championship Round 5 match between the Netherlands and Hong Kong. Joined alongside me is Max Abbott, who's still got his plate of lunch in front of him. Decent food here, Max?
Very good. Looking after our VIPs, hospitality guests, and I've managed to sneak a bit of the leftovers after running around like a madman during the lunch break. The multitaskers, associate cricket. And really looking forward to this run chase and seeing how Hong Kong learn from their previous chase. I know that it's a little bit less on the board, but a very similar target. And if they can get into a similar position as they did in Game 1, which is not easy in itself, a lot of work to be done to get there. And first ball here from Paul van Meekeren.
Decent first pill to wicketkeeper Chris Carter, who's been elevated to the top of the order over the last few months in white ball cricket. And his batting partner, Anshuman Rath, the Centurion from Game 1 on Thursday, only a few days ago. So Carter on strike. Another player miss outside off. I did sense that the new ball, obviously a new ball from each end in one-day cricket, I did sense that it's a little bit of inconsistent bounce with the new ball, and it almost got better to bat on as the ball got a bit older in the first innings. Pretty standard field here with the third man a deep square, who's behind square.
Down the leg side, I think that's just flicked the thigh pad on the way through. So missed out there, Chris Carter, with the fine leg is up, so just had to get a little tickle on that and could have got it away to the boundary.
He sort of body language indicated that he didn't feel that it hit anything on the way. So Van Meekeren coming in, fourth delivery of the over, the opening over, tucked away off his hip. I think they only get one here. There was some thought about taking the second. Good throw there out in the deep by Sealer. Left-handed Anshuman Rath will face his first delivery. I remember Anshi's first delivery in Game 1. Almost took his head off. Great delivery from Van Meekeren and went on to get 100.
Let's see if he try and takes his head off first ball. It's a better start for the Netherlands on this occasion. Hong Kong had almost a free kick of 20 runs from the first over match the other day. So the target almost pretty much the same after the first over here. Oh, that is a tight leave. It's flicked the pad on the way through, but it looked a little high. Very confident shout from the Netherlands players. I think we'll get a replay of that one. But just to looking at it on first inspection, it just looked as though it was a little high. It was a brave leave and certainly on line for the stumps. Let's have another look. Loping run up, Van Meekeren. It did jag back, probably going over the top.
Yeah, I think well over the top there. It's a tough one leaving on length on a wicket that it's a cracking wicket. It's always a couple did keep late. Van Meekeren in again to Rath. Another leave, confident leave as well. Over the top, that's end of the over. Decent first over to start the run chase for the Hong Kong side. 315 is the target. And Meekeren putting his arm around Buddy and maybe giving him a bit of advice on the LBW law.
That would be a little unnecessary, Charlie. He's an umpire.
Oh, I think it's nice to see the bit of personality in people, and I'm sure it was very respectful. But
Yeah, so I think my maths was pretty much the same target from 49 overs as the other day now for Hong Kong, given the difference in start. And we've got a debutant about to come in here. Shane Snater. Tell me, warm-up run-up. I'm never a fan of that. The warm-up run-up. I don't understand the logic. But it's just obviously a mental cue to help feel comfortable running into the wicket. Check the run-up. I guess you don't want to bowl the no ball. Let's rather have the warm-up run-in than bowl the no ball first up. He'll be a little bit nervous, so I just wonder if Hong Kong will be aware of that. And just try and put him under a little bit of pressure. That's a no ball, so he has bowled the no ball. That's we saw Hong Kong's Kyle Christie making his debut. The nerves just affected his run up a little bit. Chris Carter generally goes for the lap sweep off these free hits. I'd just love to see him clear the front leg and try and whack one down the short boundary down the ground. But the short, fine leg is up. So I would suggest... What do we reckon, Charlie? You in agreement? So he'll go for the lap?
I'm hoping he won't. It wasn't very successful the other day. I think maybe over cover.
Goes for the lap and misses.
No surprise there.
Good to see the commentators reading the play here.
I was more hoping he wouldn't do that. So, decent crowd have come in this afternoon in what promises to be an interesting chase here from the Hong Kong side. If anything, if the other day's anything to go by. Down the leg side. Umpire Dar puts the wings out very quickly. That is also gone to beating the keeper. And that's 5 wides.
They are so handy for a batting side just to get you going. And as a fielding team, not what you want to give away. And
Namaste to all our Nepalese supporters, keen cricket followers, particularly in associate cricket. As we know, Nepal will be here in October to take on Hong Kong in 2 World Cricket League matches. Carter just leans on that one, a push to cover.
yeah, Shane Snater, the debutant here. According to his profile here, played for Zimbabwe under 17s. Here, still only 20. Here, opening the bowling for the Netherlands. Only had the one first-class game. It was against Afghanistan. Still finding his way in international cricket.
Looks like he leaps up nice and high, hits the deck. Hits the deck pretty hard. Looks like the sort of bowler with his action just jumping away a little bit as well to hone in on the stumps there, and probably does get the odd one down leg side. Lovely day in Hong Kong. Seen the people in the background there soaking up the Hong Kong sunshine.
Short, but Carter in behind defending. What will the Hong Kong approach here be, Charlie? Will they have set themselves some targets about where they want to be, and what sort of targets will they have set, if they have?
Yeah, the team usually has a whiteboard. Can't see it at the moment from where I am. That sits in front of the dugout and has what the Netherlands were at what stage, and then has what our target would be. So try not to be too caught up in run rates.
It's well struck, straight to the fielder. Netherlands will be looking to build some pressure. Got this big score on the board. Try and see if they can lure Hong Kong to perhaps go for runs before it's necessary.
Yep, so there usually be a 15 over, a 35 over, and a 15, a 30, and a 40 over target. So just keep everyone on track. In again to Carter. Just pushes it down to third man. Moves Chris Carter's score on to 2, and the DJ firing up some music.
Yeah, so 8 without loss, no early innings nerves for Hong Kong thus far. Be very keen to just try and get through these first 10 overs. I suppose at most 1 wicket down. Been very impressed with Paul Van Meekeren after that first session in the Intercontinental Cup match. He's really found his groove. It's well bowled again. When he got through 31 overs or something in that first innings, sometimes as a fast bowler that's just what you need to get a few overs under the belt. He looks like he's got really good rhythm and good control now.
Yeah, and he's probably on the money economy rate-wise in his career so far. Just a touch above 5 an over, which nowadays is probably pretty decent economy, really, with particularly when you're opening the bowling in a power plate. Hits the wicket hard there, pushes Carter back. Carter just watchful. A very different start to the start that Hong Kong had on Thursday. Great to see the following that we're getting in the Netherlands and throughout Europe, in fact, particularly because of the time difference. So Van Meekeren in again to Carter. Tucks him up again. That's a good length he's hitting there with the new ball. He's bowling to his field here with the third man and deep square. And Max O'Dowd at mid-wicket. So Van Meekeren again to Carter. Doesn't give him a lot of room there. Good length. It's a no ball though. I think we're all pretty confident on what Chris Carter will try and do here for the no ball. CEO's just open the gates for general admission. So anyone that's in and around Mission Road, or not near Mission Road, but can get to Mission Road.
He's given us the nod.
Giving us the nod. He's got the keys out of his pocket. It's a free hit, and it's a maximum.
Yes, what a shot. The CEO, Tim Cutler, in the background there showing his emotion. We know what side he's going for, and that's never in doubt when in commentary or in the background of commentators. And a good shot there from Chris Carter. We'll try and get another look at that one shortly, but it just breaks the shackles a little bit for Hong Kong there.
Former marketing commercial director, Max Abbott.
And he really just opened the front leg on the free hit. Better option than the lap shot. Just clearing the rope out there at deep square leg.
It's more deep mid wicket, but anyway. And Meekeren into Carter. Good comeback. It's cut him in half. Lucky he didn't get any of that woodworm on it.
Yeah, I am going to instruct the cameraman later today to keep an eye on that woodworm tent and the Lama Cricket Club tent. I think we might pick up some interesting action down there. If the cricket does get dull, in fact, I would recommend cameras, even when the ball's being bowled, staying on those two tents. Because as the afternoon progresses, and could be anything happening down there. Short ball. I think that's the length. and that ends the over. Score 15 for none after 3. Solid start here for Hong Kong. How's Netherlands spinners? Charlie, got a question here in the comments.
Well, Michael Rippon's a ripping spinner. He bowled very well in the first game. Obviously picked up the man of the match honours. Forfer. I think they'll play a big part. I'd be interested to see the difference in boundaries from the Hong Kong's fielding effort in this game to the first game. It's much improved. I think that was a big difference in the first game. These smaller grounds of boundaries really can hurt you. So Peter Boren, the Dutch captain, just going up to Santa. Snyder, sorry. Santa's the guy that comes on the 25th of December.
And bowls left arm spin for New Zealand. No, that's close enough.
Yeah. So, Aussie accent. So you got a few more people popping in. Now they've got word of the gates have been unlocked. Not they ever were locked, but entry is free into the general admission. Carter push back. They've certainly learnt their lesson with Carter. That length crucial to him. He loves getting on that front foot, just forcing him back. Good length at the moment, and Carter up to the challenge. Carter advances, just using his feet there, just before the ball is released to change the length of the delivery.
Don't mind that, moving around in the crease. I think especially with a young bowler on debut, you want to try and put a bit of pressure on him, not let him settle into a length. Make him think about something else, just as he tries to probably get a few dot balls in and get himself feeling comfortable. There's some Hong Kong traffic in the background, don't know if you can hear that at home, but a few horns. Perhaps honking for Hong Kong.
Yeah, but good red cabs getting behind the men in red out in the middle.
A no ball again here, so it's just proving to be a little bit costly for the Netherlands. They've now bowled 3 no balls in the first sort of 4 overs here. It's been a bit of a problem for them on this tour. There's been a 5 wides, so when you look at the Hong Kong scorecard of 18, you actually find that 8 of those runs are from extras, and a 6 was hit from the free hit. So pretty much 14 of the 18 runs scored so far have been caused by controllable errors, you could say, from the Dutch bowlers. So they'll be a bit disappointed with that. See what Anchi Rath does for this free hit. And tries to clear the front leg and hit it. He skews it out to deep square. They'll think about a second. They're coming back, but it throws offline, and they'll get it comfortably in the end. But a nervous from Charlie Burke there as they turn, possibly thinking it's a free hit. I want to get 2, just creeping into the mindset, but well run in the end. And you've got to put pressure on the fielders at some point. It is a long boundary.
Yeah, and left hand as well of Sealer. So I didn't see who was out there, so I think hopefully that's a fair bit of knowledge there for Anchi to know that it was a left-hander fielder coming around.
Down the leg side, that could be a wide, so another extra. Really just helping Hong Kong settle and take the pressure off them early in this big run chase.
Shame we don't have cameras in the commentary box, Max. We've got wearing our lovely new Cricket Hong Kong jackets.
Yes, just with the new logo patched on. We're looking smart today, Charlie, if I do say so myself. Full outside off stump and driven, but hits the fielder. Let's say Anchi Rath want to ask you a question about his bowling. He just doesn't. It looks like he's got the yips. Is that what's happened?
Yeah, the boys were giving it to him at lunch, and he tried to say that he's changing his action slightly.
I think I liked it better before.
Yeah, I think there was no issues with it before, but maybe the boys just ribbing him a little bit. So, Anchi-Rath on strike here.
That's wide and punished.
That's dealt with there, put away, and so it should be as well. Wide down leg side, and then one pitched outside off. Too much width, and dealt with from Chris Carter, just having a look at Anchman's bat there as well. Seeing where it looks like it may have even gone through the gate. It's gone through the fence. He's hit it that well.
He's picked the gap.
Would have been nice if those young cricketers out there got their body behind it and fielded it, but it's gone through the fence. We'll just see a replay of it here. It's a beautiful shot. Good diving effort there at backward point.
It's not the gate. I think the camera's actually gone a bit far right there. It's lost the track of the ball.
It's gone straight through the fence. And umpire Tabrak Dar is calling his fellow Hong Kong umpire in Ian Thompson, who's reserve umpire today. Ian might still be having his lunch, taking a bit of time to get out there. So just a bit of break in play here as umpire Thompson brings out the spare balls. Would have been a fairly new ball. Obviously one new ball from each end. So effectively meaning that the ball is only 2 overs old. So a good crowd coming in this afternoon. Got the Cricket Hong Kong box along with the kit suppliers of the Hong Kong national teams. Woodworm, who are over in the tent there having some of the hospitality, some of the Peronis. So the spare ball has come back. That'll go into Tabrak Dar's pocket as we've changed ends for this over. Carter pushed back again onto the back foot, and we've got a...
Oh, it probably needs to say required. We might need to go there, but that's a run rate required, or I believe, or is that our run rate? We don't even know.
It's the run rate, I think. 4 overs, 25.
Had a ball. No,
yep.
So it goes up, so that's the run rate required. 6.33 runs. We're just enjoying playing with the new toys we've got in this streaming coverage, so please mind our self-indulgence. Ooh, very close to the outside edge there.
Yeah, it's not really a value shot, that one. He's been sort of tucked up a bit there, and with point well behind, we've got a point just in front, another point around behind square. We've then got a third man and a first slip. Probably not much value in that shot, I wouldn't have thought. The line that Van Meekeren is bowling at the moment from the line rock end.
Short ball, but not quite directed at Carter. Just sort of tennis balled up there. Perhaps this wicket on the second day of use, not quite with the same pace in it. Still very good for batting, mind you. I mean, it's hardly been a ball move off the straight over the 2 days. It's been a real quality cricket wicket, and I think the ground staff owed a lot of credit for the level of play we've seen in both the 4-day game and the 1-day fixture.
So Carter again on strike down the leg side, and Woody Pradhan putting out the arms to signal wide to the scorers. Scorers have done a terrific job throughout the I Cup the 4-day first-class competition for associates and the 2 World Cricket League Championship matches. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes. A lot of officials involved to run these international matches.
Full, and it's well bowled. It's probably the fullest delivery he's bowled, Van Meekeren. Carter was waiting on the back foot.
Yeah, there's 2 to come here. It's been a fairly good over. It's just setting up nicely, isn't it, for a great afternoon of cricket here, and so much at stake. An article by Jared Kimber from Crick Info, who's here for this series at the moment, wrote a terrific article on associate cricket and particularly around funding.
Blown there from Carter. Yeah, that was a great article. And he's spot on in his comments about balls disappearing. They all add up in costs, and domestic cricket here, it's a bit of a nightmare. They're trying to keep up with the amount of balls that get lost because we've pretty much can only retrieve them from kind of one side of the ground if the ball is cleared. The others go into private apartment blocks, and people get a bit grumpy over there if you're picking up cricket balls. It's like having a bad next door neighbour or something when you hit it for 6 in their backyard and ask for them to toss it back in.
Just another wide down there, so the extras mounting up for the Netherlands at the moment. So Chris
really
Adams, the Netherlands coach, will not be overly impressed with the controllables, as Max mentioned earlier.
There's only 16 runs off the bat so far. And as we mentioned before, 6 of those 16 came from one delivery that was a free hit as a result of a no ball. So a little bit of tidying up to do there for the Netherlands, and it's just helping Hong Kong not feel too much early pressure here as they've edged to 27 without loss. And the main thing being that wicket column. As we just have a look at the round, some of the lads have brought the Eskies. That's good preparation. The CEO Tim Cutler's over there.
Is that a soft drink or is that a beer?
Yeah, it's a soft drink. Let him off there. Some others in the crowd there. That's over near the cricket net with some of the kids are playing. Bring a few tinnies. This crowd sort of builds up nicely here. Driven down the ground from Anchi Rath, but for no run.
Good field set here. You can see the mid-off field is just a little bit wider. It's Rippon at mid-off. He's just a little bit wider, a little bit deeper. Mid-on, which I think is Cooper, is just in a more attacking position.
A wayward delivery.
Good to see some kids on at the lunch break again, playing some cricket and even using some chairs as stumps.
That's the inventiveness of Ryan Campbell right there. Quick thinking. Short ball and off the thigh pad. That'll be for a bit of bat there. No leg byes signalled, so Anchi Rath will take that. Just a little bit of lack of discipline here, costing the Netherlands early in this innings.
You just can't help to think that the left and right hand combination may be a contributor to maybe the extras that the Dutch have bowled early on. I know at this level you would like to think that's probably not the case, but I think any level of cricket having a left and a right hander. So he's coming around the wicket now to the left-handed Rath. That was a good length. Benjamin Rath up for the task. Then practicing the pull shot after the delivery.
Great to see some robust discussion in our comments about various things with test status and associate cricket. Clearly some some fans of this World Cricket League Championship out there sharing their views. A lot of Nepalese fans obviously tuning in, probably cheering for the Netherlands, I would have thought, as they strive to sneak into the top 4. That job will be a little bit easier if Hong Kong remain on 11 points, and with Nepal playing Hong Kong later in the year, there could be a chance for them to bridge some of that ground. And yes, to answer your question, Sudeep, this is the ground where Hong Kong will take on Nepal later this year. That's a great shot from Anshuman Rath. Just pierced the field. And it's going to see Tim Cutler out there, who picks up the pieces from that delivery. And well dressed today out in the general admission area. Man of the people.
He's fielded that one better than the PNG series.
Yes.
I think there was... It'd be great if we could find that highlight again, but I think that's asking a bit too much.
Yeah, we might have to... It's a shame there's no match 3. I would have really liked to have dug that out. Short delivery and hammered away. There's a fielder out at deep backward square, but he won't get it. So back-to-back boundaries. And this gets the Hong Kong innings moving along.
Max, it's great to see we've got a lot of different dignitaries down today. Got the Consular General from the Netherlands here, which is great. Her husband's here as well. We've got the Sri Lanka Airlines General Manager. We've got Hong Kong Rugby Performance Director, Di Reese, and his lovely wife, Sarah. So it's great to see the people that are down supporting this vital international fixture.
It's a great start here from Hong Kong, because it feels like, I mean, they obviously those back-to-back boundaries last over, which resulted in 13 being scored from it, but no risks taken at all, and they've managed to get to 40 without loss, admittedly with a little bit of help from the Netherlands, given they have erred with a few wides and no balls. Van Meekeren's been very solid.
Just having a look at the World Cricket League schedule coming up. March 11 we'll see Nepal host Kenya, and then March 13th will be the second World Cricket League match that Nepal will host Kenya at the international ground they've got there and the university. So I'm expecting there would be a big crowd there for those matches.
There'll be high stakes matches as well. Neither side can get to the top of the table, I wouldn't have thought, but that all-important top 4 is still a hope for both those sides, and they're 5 and 6 on the table. So if either team can win both of those, it'll make a real difference to their chances.
Yeah, Nepal will be very tough at home. They're tough to beat anywhere, but they're tough to beat at home particularly. And then in April, you've got UAE hosting Papua New Guinea in Abu Dhabi, April 2nd and 4th. So those games will be played out at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. Beautiful facility out there.
There's UAE, I know they're bottom on the table at the moment, and probably not a prospect of getting into that top 4, but I think they had perhaps a little off period, which has cost them. Are they now regrouped and are actually a much tougher proposition? Perhaps a bit of a disadvantage for the teams playing them towards the end, because they've been able to strengthen up a little bit.
Yeah, I think David Easton, the CEO, and Will Kitchen, the performance manager for Emirates Cricket Board, did a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get a full-time contract system up and running. And I think after the World Cup, there was a few players that retired, a few of the senior players. Some of the other older players I don't think necessarily got offered contracts just after, but have since sort of earned their way back into it. They've got a good setup there. Peter Kelly, who's their strength conditioning coach. Dougie Brown's just in an interim role at the moment as coach of UAE. So
just hold you up there for a moment, Charlie. Is that one He's pushed out by Chris Carter for a couple. Thought it may have been a chance of reaching the boundary. That was a very good over from Van Meekeren. He's been very solid. And the run rate exactly 6 and over here at the moment for Hong Kong. 42 without loss after 7 overs.
Yeah, so they're obviously interesting matches coming up. Papua New Guinea are not easy to beat at all. No one is in World Cricket League Championship. It's they're going to be a tough unit there. We've got Asad Vala, who's one of the PNG guns, who will be over here for the Blitz. And I saw Papua New Guinea beat the ACT 11 the other day as a curtain raiser before the Prime Minister's 11 against Sri Lanka in a T20 at Manica. Change of bowler here, the skipper, Peter Burren. Ball in hand, wants to lead the way here. I think he would be pretty happy about how the Netherlands have performed throughout their week and a half that they've been here for. It's been extremely well behaved as well, which it's been a bit disappointing.
Just bunted down a bit on there from Chris Carter.
So Henchman Rath is at the top of the table on the World Cricket League Championship in run scorers with 432 runs, average of 72, which is good to see. And then you've got the Nepalese skipper Paras Khadka, 352. So Henchman would like to probably get a little bit further ahead on.
Got a decent
on
gap
that.
there, 80 runs on top, and that will only be extending out there at the moment. And he must have missed a round at some stage, or missed a game or two somewhere against Namibia in the opening round. So, the Peter Boren, I imagine if the wicket does slow up a little, he would be a bit of a nightmare, I'd have thought, to try and get away. These loping medium paces. Did used to bowl a little quicker than this though, Pete, didn't he? He was never express, but I do recall him putting a little more into his delivery stride in his younger years.
Yeah, when he had a bit more hair on top.
Good shot from Carter, advancing down the wicket, smacking that down into the hospitality area. I believe it's Tim Cutler. No, it's not. It's David Millington, the woodworm. David will love that, doing the fielding down there.
Yeah, good to see David Millington down with his lovely girlfriend as well, joining us for today's cricket. And also Ashley Caddy over there as well, who works for Woodworm and is also in the national squad. And recently engaged to the lovely Faye Cable. So good afternoon's cricket here, but good over there from the skipper, Peter Burren. And just going back to that World Cricket League Championship leading run scorers, you've got Anshuman Rath, 432, Paras Khadka, 352, Shaman Anwar, who's one of the better associate cricketers for quite a while, had an excellent World Cup, 348. So we just watch a replay of that. That's boundary. And then Asad Vala, who we were just talking about, 312 runs at 44. So Van Meekeren, the Lion Rock end will continue.
Oh, man, she just might have missed out there. I think that these two Hong Kong openers will just want to get to that 10 over mark here. Score, or really whatever the score is at 10 overs, if they can be none down from here, it would have been a solid start, one that they would have taken. Still with Bubba Hyatt, I imagine, to come in next. And Nazaka Khan likely to come in at 4. So little bit of width for Anchi, but he can't quite thread the needle there between backward point. Been really impressed as well with Chris Carter, who's at the non-strikers end at the moment. I mean, this has been his best international series so far, would have thought, in his career.
Yep, most certainly. He's been looking the goods, so good to see that he's getting some results on the board. Just having a look at the leading wicket takers in the World Cricket League Championship. You got Nadeem Ahmed. So we got a Hong Kong leading the run scorers and a Hong Kong player leading the wicket takers. And with 20 wickets and also spin, Michael Rippon, who's playing in this game from the Netherlands on 17 wickets. So spin being the leading wicket takers in World Cricket League Championship to date. Alistair Evans from Scotland on 16 wickets. Norman Vanua from Papua New Guinea, 14 wickets. He's been an impressive pickup. Storm and Norman. He's also pretty handy with the bat too. But just having a look at those, it's interesting to see almost all the spinners on that list, without going through them all, are all under fives, and all the quicks are over fives as an economy rate.
It just says that associates like pace on the ball. Although Van Meekeren at the moment is keeping things pretty tight, just hitting that back of a length and not giving the batsman any room to free the arms, as I motion that myself as I do it in the commentary box.
Potentially Facebook Live in the commentary box maybe, and then people could have two screens.
Double screen.
Going. That'd be...
Tim Cutler, also our backup social media person for Cricket Hong Kong.
So Chris Carter, 15. He's on 15 at the moment. That's square drive. Fielded by Rudolph Van der Muur.
Impressive over there from Van Meekeren. His figures none for 13 off 5 overs, so he's been very good. That's a very rare economy rate in this series. As we get down to a group of Hong Kong fans on the boundary there. So these two batters lapping up the sunshine and this flat wicket at the moment.
Do hope Pete Byron's got a bit of sunscreen on the top of his head there. It's captaincy's not easy. Lose a few fibres on top. So he comes into left-handed Anshuman Rath.
Ooh.
Foolish delivery, struck back at him. He would have felt he's missed out there.
It was a little half volley for Anshuman Rath there, but it's a very good touch at the moment. And he's managed to creep to 21 off 20 balls. It hasn't felt like he's shifted even into third gear.
Yeah, those back-to-back boundaries, didn't he? So he snuck away. He's just tucked one off his hips there for one. Peter Byron wearing the long sleeves. Chris Carter wearing the long sleeves there. I feel that if you're an all-rounder, you have to have long sleeves.
Is that a rule? I haven't heard that one.
I think it's unwritten rule.
So it's not written anywhere?
No, it's not written anywhere. It's unwritten rule. All-rounders. Carter on strike. Hong Kong taxis supporting the game here.
Yes, and that taxi driver will be very happy with that ball going away to the boundary for 4 byes. They don't mind how they come here in Hong Kong, and you can hear the support in the background, I'm sure, of those horns. But a handy boundary, and as we've said, Hong Kong haven't had to work particularly hard because they've been given a number of freebies so far. The Netherlands bowlers, the extra tally would be very high. Carter picks out the fielder there, but already in this innings seen 16 sundries, 9 wides, 3 no balls, now those 4 byes. So that's really taken the pressure off Hong Kong in his early overs. They haven't had to take any risks to maintain the rate. Chris Carter's hit that one beautifully. He might get 4 for that. I was just about to say 15 off 39 balls he'll be looking to pick up. That's a great effort out in the deep there. There's a chance to run 4. Carter looking at the umpire, but it wasn't 4. That's a great piece of fielding. That was the debutant out there, Snader.
Good to see the young kids down there from Cowling Cricket Club getting pretty excited about the athleticism on the boundary there. Great to see them down as well. So welcome to all the young juniors from Cowling Cricket Club. So Peter Burren into Rath. A little bit more bounce there. Tucked it off the hip. We'll get one to deep square where Sealer is fielding. He might get a bowl today. I've got a feeling that spin may be introduced now that the power play is over.
I'll tell you what else was going to be introduced, and that is a couple of new commentators. And taking over the man who we've seen on our screen doing some fielding in the general admission area not long ago is Tim Cutler, and along with him will be Ryan Campbell.
Thanks, Maxie. Very warm over there. I don't know what you thought of my fielding. Just missed me. Okay. Welcome back, Ryan. What are your thoughts of this juncture?
Hi, Tim. Look, I don't think it's been a great start from the Dutch, to be honest. Too many wides, too many no balls, byes, sloppy. The Hong Kong lads have just eased their way along to a good, solid start, and going to say it now, we're in for another cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling too. It's funny, the sides seem to have swapped a bit. I think Hong Kong really got their disciplines and their standards back up this morning. See rip on into bowl there. But the Dutch now, both with the bowling and I guess the fielding, they've still been okay, but on the bowling side, just already too many wides and no balls, as you say.
They are coach killers. No balls in T20 and one-day internationals, and getting into bad habits. So, look, on a positive for Hong Kong, I think these two have batted extremely well. They haven't taken any risks. We haven't seen any silly shots so far. And I'm sure that, look, a good solid start from them, which they have got. Literally sloppy there from Boren, but, you know, again, theoretically 313 obviously is a lot. It looks a lot on a scoreboard, but you must take into account how small the boundaries are here, how flat the wicket is. There's not a lot of spin. So as a batting team, you just need to have partnerships, and you will score as fast as you want towards the end. I keep saying about that. And on the other side of the coin is a bowling partnership. You just can't go for boundaries. How do I get through 6 balls? How do I get an occasional dot? A couple of overs of only 3 or 4 and over, and then suddenly that scoreboard pressure very quickly mounts up. But on the other side of the coin, you know, again, we saw it on Thursday, we saw it today, that those opening 4 or 5 overs, plays a beautiful shot through mid-off there, Anchman Rath. He's in fantastic touch.
We'll try and get another look at that very quickly.
You know, you're suddenly going at 7s and 8s and over before you even started, and you know that just takes a lot of pressure off the batting side.
It's good running there from Anchman. Let's have another look at that boundary there. Just put that through the gap with a plomb. It's a great shot, really, isn't it?
Yeah, good use.
Left arm googly bowler.
Good use of the feet. I will say that I felt the other day, and obviously it was a reflection in the amount of wickets he took, but Rippon was the X factor for Holland. I felt that the Hong Kong lads didn't quite know what he was bowling. He obviously bowls a lot of wrong-uns. So it'll be interesting how they've assessed that and how they tackle him today. You know, that last over, that pivotal last over that he bowled on Thursday, where he took those 2 wickets in 2 balls, really changed the course of the game.
Speaking of runs per over and bowling tactics, let Peter Byron bowl his first ball. It's another great shot from Rath. We'll try and get another quick look at that as well. Just so impressed with his stroke play, just so correct, just knows how to lift at the right time. But I was just going to say, how big are you on the idea of a batsman going after a bowler on the first ball of an over?
Look, I know it puts the bowler under pressure immediately, but to be honest, I don't think you need to be looking for something to do on the first ball. I just think you have to play every ball by its merits, and if it happens to be something that you can have a piece of, then so be it. You know, and as a bowler, obviously, you just you're trying to get that first ball dot, and the last ball dot are probably your most important one. So, yeah, look, to answer your question, I don't think as a batsman you should be over eager to score off that first ball. You have to play every ball on its merits. But, you know, if there's something that you can have a piece of, then obviously, you know, why not?
Oh, just interesting to get your insights there as a top batsman. It always seems, nowadays anyway, it's a big move to try and the boundary of first ball of an over really does take the pressure off from a batting point of view and then put the pressure on a bowler. And I know as a bowler, there's nothing worse than that first ball going for a boundary and you're really up against it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting just looking at, you know, from a Dutch side of things, how are they going to get a wicket here? Like, that's the questions that you need to ask yourself. And, you know, on a flat wicket like this, it's not turning a lot. It doesn't come down to wicket-taking balls. It comes down to pressure, and that is scoreboard pressure. The bowlers simply have to run in and try and bowl stump to stump, bash the wicket. Don't bowl half volleys. Just keep bashing it into the deck, and hopefully you can strangle a little bit.
There's a few questions coming on the stream about the Nepal game coming up. And of course, we'll be bringing that live to all you Nepalese fans and cricket fans around the world when they're here in October. Also have Afghanistan here for a Intercontinental Cup tie 2. See what happens with the stream on that, but I can't wait to bring the Nepal game. I know you won't be here, Ryan, but that'll be a spectacle in Hong Kong knowing the Nepalese community here.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you'll have thousands and thousands of viewers back in Nepal. They love their cricket over there and are very passionate about their team. It's going to be another bowling change. Looks like Vandermeer's going to come on. Perhaps Rippon will swap ends. He did actually take all his wickets from the other end. What are we calling that? The softball end or the...
That's the Victoria Harbour end.
The Victoria Harbour end. You got naming rights on that?
It was actually suggested by Kevin Stiles of Craigengate Cricket Club, Gatsby, as he's affectionately known. And you can see Lion Rock in the distance as you look north, which is back over the bowler's head. But if we go south, as the camera's facing now and looking, just past those unit blocks, which is synonymous with Hong Kong, not too far from the water. I thought interesting the Rippon only came on for 1 over.
Well, I have a feeling that they're going to change ends. Like, he obviously may have had a discussion with the captain and said, I probably feel a little bit more comfortable at the other end. And being the main wicket taker, the captain obviously said, okay, no problem.
Just having to keep my scoring skills going there. Apologies, we'll keep up to date there.
Yeah, I noticed this the other day. You guys have to multitask. I'm glad you didn't give that to me as a job.
Good to see all those comments coming through on the chat. Oh no.
Bit of a mix-up.
Oh, tight run there. Good throw. Would have been interesting. But in the end, maybe a good run with the right-handed fielder at cover, running a long way to his left. Got to say that's one thing that Hong Kong probably doesn't do as well as it could at the running between the wickets. The Netherlands have definitely, and the PNG boys when they were here back in November, really give Hong Kong a bit of a lesson in that regard. It's the simple thing sometimes, isn't it?
Well, I to be fair to them, that probably is a result of playing on such small ground so often. You know, the thought of 4s and 6s spring to mind quite early, and you're hitting balls into the outfield and only getting one all the time. It does become a habit.
It's good by Rath. Step right back across his stumps there, using every bit of the crease. Throws it out to the sweeper there, out at deep square leg.
See, but that's a good over by both teams. You know, when you look at the big scheme of things, nothing really happened out of the ordinary. Hong Kong will be pretty happy. They got 4 or 5 singles. On the other side of the coin, you know, the Netherlands will probably go, you know what, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That's what we need. So a couple of dots, let them get singles. It's the boundary balls that kill you. And as we spoke about, there's the Dutch consulate and her husband, wearing the Dutch hat.
And Monique hosted both teams for a welcome cocktail at her residence up on the Peak in Hong Kong.
Not a bad pad.
Not a bad pad at all. I think there are maybe to those from areas that have normal sized houses and blocks wouldn't seem so amazing, but to those of us that live in our shoeboxes in Hong Kong, it was quite amazing. It was great of the Dutch consulate and the consul general and her husband to host us, and she's down here today enjoying this round 5 match of the World Cricket League Championship.
Well, as we spoke about, Ripon has changed ends.
You should be a coach.
Maybe. Ask me that question in a few months' time, mate.
I've seen a few emotional responses from you already. You may as well be getting paid from this point.
I must admit, it's been hard watching, obviously. 4.5, 5 years sunk into the Hong Kong landscape, and you know, being involved as the batting coach and knowing these kids so well, and you know, 5 or 6 of them playing at my KCC, and then suddenly being now the coach of the Netherlands. It's been mixed emotions watching these games, but
well, you did say it was like watching your children have a fight, wasn't it?
Pretty
Although
much.
you only have one.
I do only have one, but I would say Hong Kong is obviously the older brother, and the youngster Netherlands have come along. But
you are the younger brother as well, so does that
well,
do we know where you stand?
It's always good to be the youngest, mate.
Spoken like a true wicketkeeper, that.
Well, just have noticed though that from this end it seems it is turning a little bit more.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I actually had a quick chat to these 2 batsmen. They came to KCC last night, and you know, obviously Chris is a KCC lad, and Anshman, and they actually spoke about it's close. They spoke about he is very hard to pick. There's a bit going on in the action, and you're trying to look at, you know, do you look at his hand? Are you looking for the ball? Coming up with different ways, and obviously as a wicketkeeper, my approach was always you got to watch the hand. You got to know what he's bowling, but you can understand. You know, there's a bit of a whirl of action in the way he does it. There's a wrong one. Not sure it's that hard to pick, to be honest, Tim.
Yeah,
you watch the
always
hand.
say with the leg spinning wrong, and I'm sure we've got lots of cricket fans out there, but the wrist has to cock all the way around. You've got the entire back of the wrist, there, showing, because you've got to come all the way over, and it sort of comes out over the ring and little fingers. So as you say, if you're watching the hand, but it's also tough as well to make sure you're doing that as a batsman. I'm sure you would know as well as anybody, as the day gets hotter and you're starting to get a bit of form if you actually stop watching the hand.
Yeah, well, of course, you know, sometimes the biggest problem of going out of form is you stop watching the ball closely. You think you're watching it, but you're sort of watching a square box where the hand comes out of, And I know, some of the great batsmen, Ricky Ponting and Michael Clark, who I spoke to about batting, is, they try and narrow that box. Michael Hussey was a great one. Narrow that box literally down to the tiniest bit. So they're watching the hand. Michael Hussey and I, when we opened the batting together, he would tell me what side the shine's on when the guys were walking back. And I was, to me, that was quite amazing. I obviously didn't watch it I thought I was watching it closely, but not as closely as that. But good piece of fielding there from Benny Cooper.
Very good for the big man. Big, tall, lanky man to get down like that. That's really well done.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those things that, as any youngsters listening out there, it all comes down to watching the ball. But sometimes I think we forget, if you don't know what a guy bowls, if you don't understand how to bowl leg spin, for instance, as another single goes to deep square, if no one's ever actually explained it to you, we assume that everyone knows. But, there's sometimes cricketers go through. I went through cricket, playing first-class cricket, and came to an Adelaide Oval with our fast bowling stocks. And we're all talking about reverse swing, and we need to do this, we need to do that. Unfortunately, our fast bowler didn't understand what we're talking about. He didn't know what reverse swing was, and he didn't know which way to hold it. But you just assume because you get to a level, everyone knows. But, it is one of those things that sometimes you need to ask questions. Always ask questions. If you're not quite sure, ask someone, because someone will have an answer. Might not be the right answer, but it's at least an answer.
Especially when you look at players, that's just another single down, Carter down to Cooper, like Jimmy Anderson and whatnot, that came through the ranks really quickly from club cricket. And again, as you say, it's easy to assume, and for batters it must, well, for you especially, moving from first-class environment at the Wacker to Hong Kong, the levels of knowledge must have been dumbfounding just to get your level right when you're talking to people.
Yeah, get your level right. But, let's talk about someone like these two. They're playing international cricket from the age of 17. They're learning the game at an international stadium, on an international stage. So they don't actually have a lot of time to ask these questions. They're learning about their own games. Am I a hitter? Am I a defensive player? Am I... so they're trying to do it all against the hardest opposition. So it is quite tough, and you have to remember their age sometimes.
See Carter watching that well off the wicket there. Every time I see Chris bat, I'm so impressed with his development. Maybe if you can tell us a little bit as we go on about Chris's last couple of years.
Well, I'm not going to say I told you so, but he walked into our club at KCC, and I met his father, and I literally had watched one net session, and I promised him he'd play for Hong Kong within 2 years. So that's how confident I was with his ability. He's a hard worker. Look, his glove work has got a lot to go as an out-and-out keeper, and I guess he was a bit lucky as being at KCC, me being a wicketkeeper, I could actually work and talk to him, because it is actually one of the least coached skills of our game is wicket-keeping, yet we all expect our wicket-keepers to be automatically great. But no one coaches them. It's literally you get to the ground and you grab two kids and go, okay, sit down over there, hit each other balls. So, look, he's got some work to do there, but I think his batting has come on leaps and bounds. And like I say, he's one of those kids that he doesn't quite know yet what he is. Is he an out-and-out hitter? Is he a guy that pushes the ball around? I just think he just needs to bat. He doesn't have to have thoughts in his mind about, I should be positive, I should be attacking, I should be defence. He just needs to bat and let him go. And I think what we've seen over this last week or so, he's just batted and he's been very good. Now, it's interesting because I reckon over these last 3 or 4 overs, they've only scored 14 or 15 runs, 13, 14 runs in 3 or 4 overs. So then all of a sudden, now it starts to think. And I've noticed that Chris Carter to Vandermeer was trying to come down the wicket a little bit more. That's where young batsmen are thinking. Their thought process starts to wander. I need a boundary. We need to keep up. They don't at the moment. I think they just need to keep batting, but it'll be interesting what happens in these next few overs.
So a single to Rath. Well, as you said, your last 5 overs, 15 for no wicket. So 3 runs and over. And I think that's the skill of Van der Merwe as well. Coming to the fore as he did in the 4-day game of bowling 100 odd overs well, in the first innings he went at under 2, and then the second innings a bit more when Hong Kong was setting a total, but I'd be very surprised if something doesn't happen.
And there you have it. Like a book, Timothy, like a book. Unfortunately, it looks like his bat slipped out of his hand. Little bit of turn, looking to be aggressive, and I can tell you, Chris Carter, one of the things that I will say, is one of the sweatiest men I've ever seen in my life. So he does have these issues. It's spun a little bit, the bat's out of the hand. I think it's bowled him, to be honest. I'm not sure it's stumped. I think that's bowled.
Yeah, we're gonna try and slow this right down with the replay again. So, I don't know, unless it's come off the keeper onto the stumps, because he's being given out by the...
He was given out by the square leg
square leg
umpire, but what I will say is the ball seemed to roll behind the wicketkeeper, which therefore I would that to me says impact has come from the front, not the back. So that's what I'm going to put down to it. But whatever it is, it's a wicket, and Hong Kong have lost their first one. A fantastic opening partnership of 80 in 15 overs from the 2 young players. But cometh the hour, cometh the man, as the captain of Hong Kong, Bubba Hyde, who has been in outstanding form, strides to the wicket with a big job on his hands. He'll be trying to get himself set in and get another good partnership like they did on Thursday, a partnership of in excess of 200, where it was absolutely outstanding. It should be a very interesting stage of this game, Tim. Like I was just mentioning, you just felt that something was going to happen. 5 overs, only 15 runs off. You just knew something was going to give. It was either going to be a couple of big shots, 4s and 6s, or there was going to be a wicket.
We're just watching this in super slow-mo on the stream here to get a look. Not going to be able to see this, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say that's stumped.
I think looking at it, he hasn't caught the ball and it's rebounded onto the stump, it looks like.
So let's put it down to a bit of luck to the wiki, because that wasn't great glove work. So we're going to put that down. I'm sure the official scorer will tell us on Crick Info that goes down as a stumping. And now Bubba Hyde, a few changes in the field. They're bringing deep mid on up. Put a little bit of pressure. Slip goes in. Bubba, first ball, chance, run out. Oh,
He might have actually been safe there. Good
Good
pace
run.
there from the big man. Would have been close. We've just watched the replay here, playing back the stream to ourselves at extremely slow. The only way he can be out there stumped is off Barassi's gloves. Couldn't see the ball hit the stumps, so the ball did seem to fall down.
well, just looking at Barassi then, just explaining to Anshman Rath what happened. Looks like he just said, yeah, you know, hit the gloves and bounce back on. So, look, a little bit of luck there for the Netherlands. They'll take their wickets any way they can get them, I'm sure.
You have to say they were a little bit unlucky Thursday's game, so you need to take all the luck you can sometimes, don't you?
Especially on flat wickets on small grounds. Bowlers will take them any way they can, I would have thought. But like I say, Tim, it's not rocket science. If you build pressure on flat wickets by bowling disciplined lines, get batsmen to hit it to a couple of fielders, few dots here and there, only 3 or 4 and over, eventually something's going to give. And you just, like we were talking about, I just felt that something was going to go there. It was either they were going downtown and trying hitting for 6s, or you were going to get a wicket. And as it turns out, the latter happened.
Got to say, I'm pretty impressed with your prediction there.
Like you say, I might be a coach one day. Tell you who I am looking forward to seeing bat today, if he gets an opportunity, is young Shahid. Look, I think he's a kid that, as Ripon continues, he's a kid that has the hand-eye coordination of something very special. Look, his technique's not great, and we've been working with him on that, but as a pure ball striker, mate, he is something.
Nice little sweep shot there. Rath out to Malik. Yeah, I think my Elite League, Sunday League team, Hong Kong Cricket Club Wanderers, were on the bad side of a Shahid Wasif. I was going to say Freedy there for a second. Wasif.
Oh, he's coming too.
He's coming for the blitz. Last year when he scored 180 not out after they were 30 for 5 and they ended the day at 280 for 5. Actually,
Nice.
no, it was 360 for 5.
You obviously had bowled out early, got away from the carnage, Tim. You did, didn't you?
I was away on business.
Righto, Bubba Hyatt facing Ripon. Got to have a slip, Peter Boren, and I think that's where he's going to. That wrong and early, I've no doubt Ripon will be trying to give Bubba a couple of those early. Oi.
Oh, there it was.
Does use his feet very well, Bubba Hyatt. Now, Charlie and I were talking about my love of picking your bat up and you know, if you look at Bubba very closely, his hands are very low in his stance, but he generates amazing bat speed. See how low he is there? But he has some way of just putting his hands through the ball and generating good speed. So, mate, he hits the ball as hard as I've seen. But, look, it's an interesting one because, you know, on a bigger ground or a good wicket, the thought process would be let's bounce him because he has to pick his bat up then and, you know, he might be a fraction behind. But, like I say, no one hits the ball harder than Bubba Hyatt, and he's shown that in all forms. Continues to bowl that wrong un to the left-hander. Bowling down breeze, it feels like just looking at the trees. Nice breeze off the Victoria Harbour, or the KCC end, whichever one you want to use.
I think we're a little bit east of the KCC, aren't we?
It's a good period here for the Netherlands, just strangling probably their best two bowlers. Ripon and Van der Merwe. The required run rate just starting to sneak up. Nothing to be alarmed about for Hong Kong, 7.14. I guess in the old days you would start to worry once you got into the 6 and overs stage, but if we just got over a little bit over that, you start to worry. But I guess now with the feeling that blokes can just clear the rope whenever they want. Good single. Maxi Abbott never stops working, that man.
You see lots of people when you're at the cricket, Ryan, but into the commentary box has walked my old boss, Philip Building. Strange the people you see at a cricket game.
Mate, probably the most relieved man in the world when you put your resignation in.
He's a little bit happy. That was when marine insurance was my life, Ryan.
Marine insurance, their loss. Cricket Hong Kong's gain, Timothy. Scoring 1 for 87 if you're an Australian. That's you're looking for something to happen.
Nice little shot there by Anchi, and good understanding between these two. Spent a bit of time in the middle together of late.
They have indeed. I'm really enjoying the fact that the coaching staff of Hong Kong have decided to put Ancham and Rath up the list. I must admit, I was always an advocate that he needed to open. He was our only true natural opening batsman in my belief, but he was batting a lot of his cricket at number 5, and there's an edge just wide of Boren. Good bowling, but it's a fierce game. It's a tough game. 4 runs to the score.
I'll tell you what, it's a little indication of what Roloff's put on the ball there. We've all played a lot of cricket between ourselves here at Mission Road, and generally it's a wicket where it turns more the slower you bowl, but he's really ripped that in. It's turned fast, hasn't it? Very encouraging for him. It really did go quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, the end of another good over. It was very well bowled. Just looking at, we're early on in this game. We're 18 overs in. Rippon and Van der Merwe bowled 4 overs each. Obviously, they're in their minds are bowling to the best 2 batsmen, so you'd think that they'd bowl a fair bit to these 2. Down the ground, that's another beautiful cricket shot. No risk whatsoever. Beautiful use of the feet, hitting over mid-off, who's inside the circle. There's that boundary off the first ball of the over.
Try and take a quick look at that before we just let this next ball go before we see that.
More runs for him here. Should be 2 if they run hard.
Good running from the lads there.
There's another 50 for Anchaman Rath. This boy has been literally on fire this whole tournament. Look at that beautiful cricket shot.
Great shot.
98 not out in the first innings, then more runs in the second innings of the 4-day fixture, and then obviously a massive 100 the other day. And now here he is again with the hopes of his side squarely on his shoulders as he's batting his way beautifully. Of course, he's now on staff, I think, at Middlesex. So perhaps a very good opportunity for him to play a lot of first-class cricket ahead of him.
Just the difference it makes now, doesn't it? 4 off that first ball, 2, 1. That's 7 off the first 4 balls. This makes such a difference, and that's the 100 up for Hong Kong there as well. Let's come up in 19.4 overs. So don't need to be much of the mathematician to work out, just a tick under the 5 runs and over.
Yeah, and like we're talking about in the aspects of the game, and we're saying that Rippon and Van der Merwe probably the best bowling stocks for the Netherlands, bowling to the best batsmen. But then it comes to a point where Peter Boren has to make a decision. He has to go to a backup and needs to, a couple of overs of these guys for later on. Who does he bring on? The quicks were very expensive. Van Meekeren obviously was the standout, a very good bowler, but his medium pace bowling stocks are probably not as full as what we have with Tim injuring himself in the 4-day fixture, who's the real spearhead. I'm going to try and say Van der Gooten. I think I'll get it right. I'm sure
you can only start practicing now.
I will do. I've actually had some Facebook messages from guys from Holland saying how to pronounce certain names.
Do you trust them?
Well, the beauty of being Australian, Tim, I will be saying mate a lot.
Then you can get away with it.
Yes.
It's great hands there from Bubba Hyatt. Cooper comes around. Just a single there.
Well, what I like about Bubba, we've seen him watched him play for so long, but he just seems a lot calmer now. He's taken this captaincy role beautifully as a batsman. I don't feel like he's thinking I need to hit a 4 or a 6 early in my innings. I feel like he's just, content. A lot of time you'd always say we got to bowl to his ego, put the field back, dare him to keep hitting over their heads, and he wouldn't like taking the singles. Look, there's still some of that there somewhere, but I just feel he's maturing as a player, and that's a big hit again. That's going to go all the way just for 6 more to Anchaman Rath.
Tell you what, for a very correct batsman, he's been talking about the work he's been doing the gym with his strength and his hitting ability. I know that's probably 65-metre boundary out there, but another good shot.
Well, just for a fleeting moment, I think the fielder thought he had a piece of that, had a chance of it, but wasn't the case. And it's 6 more runs, so just for a fleeting moment, the heart would have been in the mouth.
Again, good work there by Rath. I also think Bubba, as we saw with Shahid batting with Anshuman Rath in Nairobi, I was lucky enough to be there to see that innings. I think he just has a calming influence. Just belies his 19-year-old age. But I think he just knows how to control an innings and say the right things and keep even the senior player down the other end calm. Because I think, as you say about Bubba, he's just a different player when he's batting with Anshi.
Always a lot easier to bat when the bloke up the other end keeps smoking him. It takes all the pressure off yourself.
That too. So the end of the over. Into 21 overs. Hong Kong 110 for 1. So that leaves Hong Kong. I said us there. I guess I can occasionally. 205 needed from 174 balls.
You are the CEO, Tim, let's be honest.
That run rate just sitting there. It's just a tick over 7.
Is it okay if I keep saying us for both teams, though?
I think it's probably best for you at the moment. I think if you could be... I don't think you could be in a more conflicted position, honestly.
Oh,
is there a possibility
shocking.
of anyone... Could you, in a real-world situation...
Well...
So as we're talking about before, with the first 5 overs, the 5 overs just before going for 15 runs, we've just had the previous 5, basically since the wicket, and including the wicket going for 31. So the difference, Bubba Hyatt comes out to bat, and the scoring rate's actually increased.
Yeah, well, and that's brought about a change in the bowling. Peter Boren has come back on. Again, I feel it's that sort of wicket where you need to take the pace off. You've got to keep bashing it into the deck, bowl nice and straight, challenge the batsman to hit good, big shots. You know, so it's an interesting stage of the game, that's for sure. As you can see there, he just keeps rolling his fingers over the seam and taking the pace off. It's interesting, his mid-off is still up, yet mid-on is back. So I'm sure Anshuman will be thinking, well, if he gives me a bit of room here, I'll probably have a piece of him down the ground on the offside.
Knowing Pete Boren as we're lucky enough to, I think he's probably thinking the same thing, and I likened him to a Chris Harris type bowler, and I thought, as I was talking, I thought maybe that's a little bit old for a few of the fans that are watching.
Yeah, Chris Harris bowled fast leg spinners pretty much.
Yeah, mid-90s, as in the years.
Exceptional all-rounder.
Started playing in the 80s.
Exceptional record.
But he's another one like your good self that T20 cricket probably came 10 years too late.
Well, I'll tell you what he was. He was one of the great fielders of all time. I watched him in awe and some of the stuff he used to do, and yeah, amazing player.
And even as 2 Australians here talking, just let Peter Boren bowl this ball. And she not able to get that away and fielded by Max O'Dowd. Really great player to watch, with such a competitor. In the field, as you say, bowling so hard to get away, but batting as well. That free swing of the bat over wide long on.
What you had to love about the bloke, and this is no disrespect, but mate, not the most talented player in the world, but just made the most of what he had. He knew what he had and, mate, played accordingly, which is outstanding. Thanks, Tim. I'm just going to sneak off, I think.
Well, you can sneak off. Back to the Peroni tent. Going to welcome back host, tournament chief, impersonator extraordinaire, all-round good guy, the main man Max Abbott, with Eddie Middleton from KPMG. Going to welcome Eddie into my chair, and I'll bid you adieu, and I'll be cheering from the sidelines from the Peroni tent. Thank you very much, Max, and welcome, Eddie.
Thank you very much, Tim. Delighted to be here.
Very exciting to have you here, Eddie, in our commentary box as a very special guest.
Exciting for who?
For me.
You're very kind. Well, we've got a great game on our hands, Max, I think. We've got a great game coming on. Good start from Hong Kong, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll be really pleased. The wickets in hand is the key. I mean, very interesting for me to see just how they learn from that first match. They've got themselves now into a similar position that they got themselves into in that first match, but they now are in a position to perhaps learn from that and go a little bit better and go all the way.
Indeed. In the first game, came a cropper towards the end, clutch of wickets, and they'll be disappointed, I'm sure, that they didn't get over the line. Same thing here. Fantastic start. Got to work hard through these middle overs and be in a position, last 10 or 15, to get over the line this time.
Roll of Vandermeer in here to the Hong Kong captain Bubba Hyatt. And a real key phase of this game, which it's great to see a few fans rolling through the gates here today.
It's a joy to behold. Glorious weather for it. What more could you want in life than a fantastic game of cricket in the weather that we've been blessed with today?
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And the general admission area, it's got to be about
Well
300 or 400
populated.
over there.
Yeah, it's very well populated.
That's knocked into the onside for a single from Anshman Rath. What about the form of Anshman Rath? I'm sure Ryan Campbell and Tim Cutler touched on it earlier, but just incredible to make, for a 19-year-old to make scores of 98 not out, 88, 134, and now to be sitting here on 64 not out in a space of 8 days.
Well,
It's a remarkable achievement.
As a fellow left-hander, it's a joy to behold. He's hit some wonderful shots already in this innings. I've been particularly impressed with a couple of shots he's hit straight over mid-off. The mid-off is up, and he's launched a couple back over his head, one bounce fours. Good swing of the bat, straight hit, picking it up beautifully.
And he's got outside the line there, I think. A big appeal. Hard to imagine that you're talking about getting outside the line of off stump when you're talking about playing a leg side shot.
Indeed.
Perhaps
Bit of excitement among the Dutch team there. They thought they were in with a shout of LBW, but not really. Perhaps shows how keen they are to get Anshuman out.
in the air.
There he goes again. He's hit that in the air, but through extra, picked the gap, and that's gone into the crowd over a deep extra cover. Again, a nicely timed, nice swing of the bat, and 4 more runs, welcome runs for the Hong Kong total.
Yeah, 120 for 1. And Peter Boren here, this is the last ball of this over, I think, as Anshuman hits that firmly down the ground. That's going to be another 4. So back-to-back boundaries really takes the pressure off. And, if I'm not mistaken, not quite the end of the over. In fact, she's just fallen behind in my little ball count here.
Getting close, but
24th over, as it with a bit of multitasking here in the booth with keeping score.
you're doing a fine job, Max, in difficult circumstances with limited ability. It's fantastic stuff. What's he doing? And he's hit that one through mid-wicket. There's a man on the boundary though, so they jog through, an easy single taken.
Anshuman now on 73 from 67 deliveries. Can he back up his 100 with another one here? Hong Kong are going to need it.
Yeah, and Anshuman's going to need some support. 2 or 3 guys at the other end. Got to give him that support. Anything over 300 is a difficult chase. They're in a good position at the moment. And Holland, I guess, searching for a wicket now. Dot ball, always welcome for the bowling side, a dot ball.
So you've been here for a bit of this series, Eddie, as a keen
Yeah.
cricket follower. What have you made of it all?
It's been, so far it's been absolutely wonderful, Max. As you know, I was here for much of the 4-day game earlier in the week. I'm a purist really, I like my 4-day and 5-day cricket. This hit and giggle stuff, it's okay. But I really enjoyed the 2 days I spent here last weekend watching some really good quality cricket.
I don't think Netherlands will be happy with that quality of cricket though, although it was a direct hit the stumps and ricocheted off for an extra run. Peter Boren looks pretty upset about it. A glare to his fielder there.
Yeah, it was a bit slack, wasn't it? Nobody enthusiastically backing up, and that's conceded a soft run.
But I think credit to the groundsman as well, because the wicket has been conducive to quality cricket.
Yeah, it seems to me to have been something in it for the bowlers. Maybe it's a little, I don't know, a little bit too paced, or some roughness in the wicket.
It's the same strip was used.
Strip, so it's had a few days wear now. Hard baked because we've had some good weather this week.
Let's
Now
just
the
take a look at
change in
the equation here at the moment. The run rate required now for Hong Kong, 7.2 runs per over, which is manageable.
Yeah.
That equals 188 off 156, so it's going to take some pretty steady batting, despite this good start.
Sevens is well within the compass of international teams these days, Max, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the current run rate for Hong Kong just at 5.3 runs per over, so it's solid enough. So that's worked around the corner from Anshirath for another single. I suppose they know they've got some power in the shed with Nazakat Khan to come in next, a man from you at the club that you're associated with up at Hong Kong Cricket Club. You've seen him lose a few balls up on that postage stamp ground.
Oh, it's a big ground if you're a player of my capability, so whenever I see Nizakat hit them into the road and into the swimming pool and the tennis courts, I always marvel at the timing, the power, the technique that's involved just to achieve those monstrous hits. He would get sixes on a bigger ground than the postage stamp at the cricket club, Max. So Holland searching for a wicket. There's been a change in bowling. He's into the onside by Baba. $128 for one. So we're in the 25th over. Next ball. And just defeats the bowler's dive. And he's through for another single for the total. It'll be hot work in the field as well. Hot work. What's Anshuman going to do with this next one? Again, plays beautifully straight and fielded there deep mid-off, just in front of the sight screen. Another comfortable single for the total. Are they going about this the right way, Max?
Yeah, I think so, as long as when the time comes to push the button that it's done in a smart fashion, because I suppose it got into a reasonable position with wickets in hand. That didn't necessarily equal that the runs were just going to come. So
yeah,
as long as there's a plan for one guy, one batsman to really bat through the innings, which is probably what was lacked in that first game.
Yeah.
But if Anshuman or Bubba, I think they're probably going to have to go very close to batting the whole way here if Hong Kong are to win this match.
Yeah, that'll be the plan. Is it more simple from the bowling team's perspective? Keep chipping away, looking to take wickets. Almost the flip side of the batting side's coin, I guess.
Just think of building pressure as that one's knocked out in the onside. I think about two, but settle for one. Just trying to get dot balls.
Yeah.
And build that pressure to take those wickets, because the pitch is flattened out. So the wicket's going to come via pressure.
It's the end of that over. An over of singles, and the score 132 now for still only the one wicket. Halfway through now, halfway through the innings. 183 required from 25, just over 7. Again, another change in bowling. Peter Boren, the Dutch skipper, rotating his attack, seeking that wicket, seeking dot balls, seeking to build pressure. Anshuman Rath on strike. And he really must be the man to bat the next 15, 20 overs. getting Hong Kong very, very close to this total. First ball of the over, nudged into the onside, straight to the fielder, no run. A good start to this over from Van der Merwe. Left arm round to the left-handed Anshman Rath, tickled round the corner, again not defeating the fielder, straight to him again, no run. So 2 dot balls to open the over. Bowler on top in this microcosm of the game. What will Anshman do to get the scoreboard ticking again?
And she comes down the pitch, knocks it down to mid-off, just picks up the single.
So Hong Kong's captain, Baba Hyatt, takes strike, refreshes his guard. Fairly orthodox field, I think, Max, this, isn't it, for left arm round?
Yeah, he's generally bowls fairly flat, Rolf Van der Merwe.
One or two minor adjustments. He's very precise with his field placings here, making sure every one of his fielders is on the spot marked X where he wants them. Some bit of delay, maybe even trying to break the batsman's concentration, but he's ready now. No, I was wrong. Another fielder moved mid-wicket, moves straighter. As you say, very flat, almost fired in that one at Baba Hyatt, who knocks it straight back to the bowler. So a good over so far for Holland. And again, straight back to the bowler. Good line, good length in this over. Difficult to get away. In again, bowls. On the full that one, but even so, Baba can't get it away. Again, hits it straight back to the bowler. So I think just the 1 run off that over, if I'm not mistaken. So a good over for Holland, the 26.
Yeah, 133, just the 4 runs there, I think, from that over. And just be interesting to see if they shift up again. The pressure will build quickly. There's not a need to panic, but
No.
with a few quiet overs.
The batsmen did have a brief conference between overs there, maybe just giving each other a little bit of encouragement. I think the mantra must be not to panic. That can seem a bit of a daunting total. But both batsmen now reasonably well set. Well, Anshman very well set. What can he do here? Tickle round the corner, they race through for a single. Wasn't wide enough of the fielder for them to contemplate a second. But rotating the strike is always valuable. If you can't hit the boundaries, you need to be rotating the strike.
So 134 for 1 here at the moment.
Still some minor adjustments to the field. Batsman, bowler now both ready. The bowler's in.
Baba Hyatt looks pretty cool, although he's generally fairly laid back most of the time, Baba. I don't think I've ever seen him too stressed.
He's certainly not panicking, even though he's hit 4 or 5 of the last shots have hit straight to fielders. Finally gets one to defeat mid-on, who's in a little tight there. So it goes out to deep, long on, and another single for the total. think Anshuman will be thinking about a big shot now. It's been a couple of overs since we had any boundaries. Scoreboard pressure always tells. No. Great technique again. Proper cricket shot, eased again to deep mid off. Straight to the fielder and with enough pace. No opportunity for a second. One more to the total. Brings Baba Hyatt back on strike.
The dot ball, so you can sense the voice in the Dutch field just going up a little bit. They sense that there's a little bit of pressure being built here.
It's been a good bowling change, this one so far. Hassan Malik into his second over. Not giving anything loose. It's been singles.
Again, well bowled. That ends the over. 27 gone. 136 for 1. So that what does that equation leave for Hong Kong? Just looking at the
179
run rate required. Yeah, 7.78 run rate required. Did you have that down to a T, Eddie?
Just about, yeah. Being an accountant, I should be able to work that out pretty quickly.
It's great to have support from KPMG for the Hong Kong T20 Blitz coming up.
Yes, well, thanks for mentioning it, Max. Yeah, we've just done a deal with the cricket organisation to put some money behind the T20 Blitz tournament that's coming up in just a month's time or thereabouts, just less. And we're absolutely thrilled to be part of what Hong Kong Cricket Organisation is doing to promote the game, develop the game, precisely the kind of enterprise that a firm like ours wants to be associated with. We hope we're getting in early enough to be part of the future and play a meaningful role in developing, assisting you to develop the plans that you have. It's absolutely wonderful.
Well, for that one's tucked away for a single by Anshuman Rath, and well, from Cricket Hong Kong's point of view, fantastic to be involved with a firm with the reputation of KPMG, one of the leading brands.
Indeed, we're very modest about our achievements, Max. But as you know, we like
your batting achievements.
Well, indeed, thank you very much. We'll go through that in another session. But yeah, KPMG's a leader in our market, and the Hong Kong cricket team is a leader in its market, and so the two fit nicely for each other. And in terms of this game, of course, KPMG's headquarters are in fact in Holland. So
quite fitting.
It's nice to be nice to be here for this game as well. As much as I'm enjoying this game, and I'm really looking forward to the T20 Blitz, which I think the quality of players that are coming in from around the world, there's some huge names to cricket lovers.
It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. Eased into the leg side by Baba Hyatt, into the gap, an easy single but nothing more. Run rate's creeping up, Max. Run rate's creeping up. When we started on this stint, it was just over 7.2 I think, and we're already up to around 7.8. Wonder what the batsmen are thinking.
Fired in from Van der Merwe, creates another dot ball. Full of voice at the moment in the field.
Yeah, they
Dutch,
sense their opportunity at the moment, I think. They've had 2 or 3 good overs.
One thing I would say from Hong Kong's point of view, and although that their finish in the first game might have dented their confidence a little bit, in Hong Kong with the dimensions of the boundaries, it's very easy to get on a roll, so there's no need to panic. Score at 141 for 1. They've still got 9 wickets in the shed. If we just have a look at the run rate required, it's 7.9. I think around that level is manageable. And I always think if you have 80, 90 off the last 10 overs, that's a very manageable amount if you've got wickets in hand. So for Hong Kong, they don't want to fall too much further behind than they are now. But if they can pick up sort of 6 and over, knocking it around 6, 7 and over for the next 5 to 7 overs, I think that will keep them within range.
Yeah. We'll see where they are after 30 overs, because the thinking is always you can double your score from 30 overs in. So that would mean roughly they want to be about 155, 160 after 30 if that equation holds. One more single tucked into the leg side. But it's good pressure from Holland. This is good bowling. Good bowling. They've kept it primarily to singles in the last few overs. We had that over just when you and I started, Max. A couple of fours hit by Anshuman Rath over the top. But it's been singles since.
Half volley, hit straight back to the bowl. I think Bubba Hyatt will be a little bit disappointed there. He had the ball kind of in his zone. He loves those sort of deliveries. But as I said, Bubba Hyatt is a pretty cool customer. It's very gentle medium pace, not just allowing the wicket to sort of keep that one low by not hitting it into the deck.
Yeah, kept a bit low, that one, and Baba watched it all the way onto the bat, eased through mid-on. Yet another single. Now he's Anshuman, young man that he is, has he got the temperament not to panic.
Was one of the things that you're taught from a young age in cricket, in one-day cricket, is that pretty much the worst place you can hit the ball is straight back at the bowler. There's never a single there, so he does have enough time to potentially be able to at least knock one at his feet or just onto the onside at least for a single.
It's testament to the quality of the line that has been achieved over the last few overs. A lot of deliveries have been hit straight back to the bowler or to mid-on. So they got their lines right just at present, Holland. These two bowling in tandem are bowling very well, I think. I wonder whether Anshuman's thinking it's time for a big shot. Need to break the shackles.
Ooh. Straight down the ground. He said it very straight, but the fielder gets across, cuts it off. It'll just be the single end of another over, and another good one from a Netherlands point of view. Score now is 145 for 1 after 29 overs. And of the last 5 overs, we've had just the 18 runs. So that's an indication that Netherlands have really pulled it back. The Hong Kong run rates, sort of in that time, I think dipped from around 5.3 to just under 5. Required rates gone from about 7.3 now to about 8.1.
They won't want to let that continue. They need to do something. I think they're now at the stage, Max, aren't they, where they actually do need to, the batsmen do need to change something here.
Yeah,
they don't let it.
They don't need a monstrous over, but they just need to pick the momentum up again. They need to find a way to at least manufacture an over of 6 or 7 and just get the innings flowing again. Because at the moment, the temptation might be to try and break the Netherlands' momentum with a big shot. It's probably at this point better served just trying to look for a few extra singles, push the Netherlands outfielders.
Maybe. So we can convert some of these singles into twos.
An important bowling change here with Michael Rippon coming on. Took 4 wickets in the first match. 5 overs for 22 so far. But bowls his left-arm Chinamans with a variety of googlies and regular leg breaks. And he's got him. That's the big wicket. Michael Rippon, that wasn't the wrong end. That's turned. And Anshuman Rath was caught stranded down the pitch. And that's a huge wicket for the Netherlands, and it's been brought about by some pressure in recent overs.
Absolutely. That's. I was just going to question the need for a bowling change at that point, as the two were bowling well in tandem, but the first delivery, and that's turned a long way, Max, I think. Turned a long way. As you say, Anshuman Rath has come down the wicket, perhaps not with enough intent, which means it didn't quite get sufficiently close to the pitch of the ball. It's turned quite some distance, easily beating the outside edge, and as you say, the wicket-keeper's got the easiest of jobs there to gather and flick the bails off. So Anshuman Rath will be disappointed to get out now, but he's done at least 3/4 of his job, getting the innings off to a great start, but of course wanting to go on.
Yeah, Anchi Rath, I mean, let's take a moment to at least say well done to Anchi Rath. What a series it's been against the Netherlands.
Yeah, he's had a very good week.
His scores of 98 not out, 88, 134, and now being dismissed for 85. That's a very good series, and certainly won't be a fault of his if Hong Kong can't get over the line in one of these two matches. He's been outstanding, and it's over to Nazaket Khan, who, well, if there's a man who can lift the run rate, it is Nazaket Khan, and a bit of discussion, as you can see, between bowler and fielder here, because he's a unique batsman. Nazaket, he hits the ball to unusual areas, and he'll certainly try and target the short, straight boundary, and he can also sort of flick the ball almost Dhoni style onto the leg side, as he's done there to get off the mark.
And that's an interesting shot immediately. They're precisely the deliveries for the last 4 or 5 overs that both Baba and Anshuman have been hitting straight back to the bowler. That's pitched on middle stump, and he's eased that, no trouble at all, off his first ball, into the leg side, and it's a single where perhaps previously the batsmen were struggling to get off the square. There we go, Baba's gone for the big one, he's hit that, and he's hit that into the softball courts. Over the side screen, into the softball courts, and that's just the shot that Hong Kong needed. 6 runs, easy as you like. What a glorious shot, couldn't have been straighter. And recovers the over somewhat for Hong Kong. Takes some of the pressure off. Then tossed up a little bit wider of the off stump, so gave Baba the opportunity to swing his arms, keeps his head still, really eased over the sight screen into the softball courts. What a super shot, super shot.
Needed runs there for Hong Kong, and great to have the back of our box sitting here at the moment, just observing what we're doing, Eddie. It's the seat from Sri Lanka Airways. Also,
Very nice to meet you.
So you go for a holiday in Sri Lanka, you'll have to...
well, I am, in fact.
Are you?
I'm going to Sri Lanka at Easter.
Great part of the world, and of course very keen cricketers.
Indeed. And very good cricketers. So what have we got left in this over? It's been a mix, both sides' point of views. We've had a wicket, a single, a 6.
I think there's one to come in this over.
One to come, yeah. Baba Height on strike.
Correct you there, that's Nazaket.
That's Nazaket. So I've got Peter Seeler in front of me. Couldn't see past him sufficiently, thank you.
Oh, excuses, that's all right. It's your first stint with us.
Could be the last at this rate.
152 for 2. We see a few fans in the crowd there enjoying themselves. It's been a great afternoon here, fantastic weather, great atmosphere in the ground. Good to see the cricket fans in Hong Kong coming to support their team.
There's a fella there needs to get a change of shorts by the looks of it.
Where's that?
There's Baba is a bit of a fidget, I think. He's constantly refixing his gloves. Here we are, start of the new over. 30 overs gone. Oh, that's a thin edge. The best shot in one-day cricket. Thin edge past the keeper, 4 runs off the first ball of the over. So there were 152 Hong Kong after 30 overs. 20 overs left to get 160. So that was a good start. Good start to the over, if very, very fortunate. So he's got almost the toe end of the bat, the corner of the bat onto that one, and that defeats whatever field the captain sets. Just to start to the over that Hong Kong needed.
Full and goes for the big one. That's going to be 4 more. This is just what Hong Kong needed, and what I mentioned that can happen here with these short boundaries. You can easily pick up back-to-back boundaries in patches. Again, it just eases the pressure.
But again, another false shot, Max. It's another edge. So 2 edges, 2 boundaries in this over for Baba, and he won't mind that though. Now can ease through perhaps the rest of the over. No need to panic now with those 2 boundaries off the opening 2. better shot. No run though, as he hits it straight to the fielder at mid-wicket.
You can see the run rate required just ducks back under 8. Can change quickly.
Yeah.
They've got to that sort of halfway point, as you mentioned, Eddie, at the 30 over mark.
Yeah. At the 30 over mark needed just over 160 off 20, so as you've been reporting, we're around 8 and over. Very gettable, but it's over 20 overs, so it's a long time to be keeping that kind of scoring rate going.
Down the ground's going to be a single. Bubba Hyatt's now moved on to 35 from 38 deliveries. And is going along nicely, the skipper. It's going to be up to these two to do the bulk of the work. Hong Kong's two most experienced batsmen, certainly in terms of what's to come. We've probably got Wakas Khan, who's still only, I think still only 17 or 18. Coming in next, Shahid Wasif's only 19. So that's delicately played, looking to beat that short third man, but can't do it. That ends the over. A good recovery, I suppose, in the end there from Malik.
Well, I think Malik will consider himself somewhat hard done by there. He's gone for, I think, 10 in that over. But the bulk of them, 2 boundaries off false shots. So that's cricket for you, I suppose. Very often it just doesn't go for you.
So the run rate required, 8.11 runs per over.
Nizakat will look to get going now, I think. It's not a man who hangs around, is he?
No.
He's off strike at the moment.
Especially against spin bowling. Let's see what his tactics are here. You do have to be careful against Rippon because he's got that variation with the wrong. And this is Bubba Hyatt on strike though, and he sweeps that one. He out to the man in the deep. It'll just be the single.
He might have been disappointed with only to get one there. It wasn't the greatest delivery. Able to play a pulled sweep shot, but found the man on the boundary. How's Nizakat going to approach this? You think he'll fancy him?
Yeah, he'll have a go. I mean, he would have been, I imagine, given a little bit of a talking to for his shot played in the first game. I mean, it is somewhat the way he plays, but Anshuman Rath had got out the ball before, and Nizakat looked to hit the next one for 6 and got out. And that was the turning point in the match in those 2 deliveries.
Yeah.
So perhaps learning from the fact that Anshuman's just got out, Nizakat might just feel the need to take it easy for a few overs at least.
Well, in any form of cricket, you do need to, as a batsman, you do need to give yourself some opportunity to sight the bowling and get the pace of the wicket. Even if you fielded first, you're never sure until you face that first ball how the wicket's going to play. And as you said earlier, given his experience and importance to the team, he can't take risks too early. Perhaps throws more of the pressure onto the skipper to make sure the scoreboard is ticking along. And as I say that, a couple of steps down the track, gets nicely to the pitch, drives, but all along the floor. Bubba hits deep mid off though, only a single. So Nizakat on strike now.
Comes down the ground, goes in the air. Has it got enough on it? I think it does. Yes, that's over. And that's gone for 6. So we said he'd have a go. They gave himself 2 overs, Eddie. That was enough.
2 overs, yeah. Well, probably not enough. He didn't get as much as that he would have liked. He was a bit high on the bat. And we didn't see that one going to the softball courts. That's stayed within the confines of the ground. Again, fielder at long on. Thought he was in with a shout momentarily. But as you say, had enough on to get over there. He's down the track again. That's a much better shot. That one's cleared the ropes, a deep extra cover into one of the hospitality tents. Scatters 1 or 2 of the spectators there. Probably knocked a Peroni over.
Yes, and the boots are wobbly enough down there at this stage of the afternoon.
Oh, I don't know. I think they've been pretty restrained in the KPMG tent there, which is unusual.
Well, the boys to watch out for are the Llama. They are very subdued down there, which is surprising. The guys from Llama Cricket Club. Normally they are very rowdy by this point in the afternoon.
Well, they were reasonably abusive to me this morning as I walked past them. Maybe because I made an adverse comment or two about the quality of their jackets, their blazers. But yeah, maybe they're taking their afternoon nap, setting themselves up for a big finish. Perhaps timing themselves with the batting side here, who are going to have to get a move on. But that was a great over for Hong Kong, just what we needed.
And 77 for 2, so 138 off 108. That looks a little more manageable. With that over costing 15 runs. And that just happened so quickly here at Ting Kwong Road. You can see a few out in the sunshine. I hope they got their sun cream on in that corner of the ground. It's the afternoon sun belts into that corner of the ground.
And it is a warm day. So the batsman taking on some liquid, taking some water now.
So that run rate required, as we had at the start of the over, everything was 8.1, straight down to 7.6.
7.6. Well, you called it right, Max. Nizakat didn't take very long to get into his stride there.
Well, it was a bit of a gamble, but probably one worth taking for the Netherlands to leave Ripon on. They knew that Nizakat would try and attack him, and it could cost them some runs, but alternatively, if it had to pick them up a wicket, they would have been well ahead in the game.
Well, it almost worked for them with that first 6 of Nizakat that only cleared the ropes by 5 or 6 yards in the air a long time, went very high. Interesting decision for Peter Boren, the Dutch skipper, next over to see what he does. Does he risk another over, or does he think that Nizakat in particular is now well enough set that it's a risk that he can't take?
That's an important moment here too. Van Meekeren has been the pick of the Dutch bowlers so far. He bowled a very good spell up front, 5 overs, none for 13. So it'd be interesting to see how Hong Kong play him here with the older ball. One's kept a little low for a man of his height.
Perhaps the worst thing can happen when you're facing a bowler of this height and pace. You're on the back foot, you're expecting it to be up around, I don't know, chest and shoulder height, and that one keeps low and threatens your kneecaps. It's got to put you in 2 minds as a batsman. Well, you've got to try hard to get that thought out of your mind and just play the next ball.
Had to go with that one.
But goes bit of width. Beaten for pace, Max, I think, really.
Yeah, it was there to hit that one.
It's a 4 ball.
Just looking at the
Van
field.
Meekeren's got away with.
Looking out at the field there's no one that I can see unless they're blending into the crowd in the background at that sort of deep point area. So
No, it's interesting, no sweeper.
on the offside, so did miss out there. Bubba Height. They've got 2 men out for the hook shot, but a pretty attacking field here for this stage of the game. Just goes down the leg side. Bubba Height misses out.
Oh, we've got almost a gully in, rather than the deep point. A gully and a 3rd man. Long leg, a deep square leg. Deep mid on. Mid wicket. 2 men pretty close in on the close together on the offside at cover.
This time Bubba Height takes a quick single. Is it safely home?
I must have spotted something there to have effectively, what do you call them, 2 covers, maybe only 10 yards apart, quite tight in. For Baba, they're more orthodox now for Nizakat. And he's brought both 3rd man and fine leg up into the circle. So I'm not sure I understand the thinking there. A thin edge, probably not going to carry for a catch, but might defeat them and go for 4.
clipped away onto the onside. Very wristy shot there from Nazakat Khan. Picks up a single. Score to 178-42. So a tidy over here from Van Meekeren. Just 2 runs from it. And a real opportunity to build some pressure again here for the Netherlands. Be interesting to see if Bubba Hyatt will choose to take a risk or just play the over out and try and target the other end. And it's very good length, and that's been the key to his bowling order. Just the 2 runs off that over, so his figures remain very tidy, Van Meekeren, and he's still got 4 to bowl. Hong Kong are probably going to have to figure out a method taking a few runs from him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they can't afford to let Van Meekeren's last 4 overs sort of wither away with singles here and there. Now, what's Peter Boren doing? Seems he's taken Rippon off.
Brought himself on.
Brought himself on. What are his figures today, Max?
Rippon, that last over certainly blew him out. Blew him out. So he's now off. He was 7 overs, 1 for 45. But Peter Boren has been a little tidier. He's got figures there of 5 overs for 30. So, but just a sort of bowler, he'll look again just to take the pace off the ball here, build a bit of pressure, and hope that maybe Van Meekeren at the other end might benefit from that. And that's exactly where he'll look to bowl, as Nazakat bunts that one down the ground for a single.
His bowling choices recent times have worked for him, I think, Max. Peter Boren, the skipper, brings Van Meekeren back and bowls a good tight over, kept Rippon on when we thought he might take him off, and it got him the critical wicket. So it's just a fantastic contest. Cut and thrust, punch and counter punch. Baba Hyatt, the Hong Kong skipper, is batting, so he's having to think about the approach, talking to his fellow batsman, Dutch skipper, thinking seemingly every over.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a huge hour coming up here for Hong Kong cricket. There was an article written the other day that was spot on about the games with context, which they're trying to figure out in the full member world, where these matches all mean something. And Hong Kong, if they're to have any chance of winning this World Cricket League Championship, they will need to win this game. And
just another single there, eased into the offside.
And it's a massive hour. If they can win this game, they'll go back to within 1 point of the Netherlands on top, who are on top of the table, and into second place, Hong Kong. A loss will see them stay in third and 5 points behind.
Peter Boren, he's had a breather, but he's come straight back into his line and length. He's first half of this over, nothing given, no free hits.
Wicket is definitely just staying a little lower than it did in that first World Cricket League Championship match, as that ends the over. Another good one for the Netherlands there, 181 for 2. Just tidied up after that big over from Hong Kong, but haven't let the run rate blow out, I suppose, any further than 5 overs ago, so which is important from Hong Kong's point of view. That was on the back of really 2 overs, one that went for 9 and the next that went for 15. The Netherlands have since tidied it up once again. Just looking at what they've got left in their bowling for the Netherlands. Van Meekeren with 4 left. Sneijder, the debutant, was a bit expensive, mainly caused by the fact he had some problems with no balls and wides. And Peter Boren, so they've got 6 bowlers, so plenty of options available to them in this last 16. Van der Merwe's only got 2 left. He's their real go-to bowler to keep things tight. And of course, Hong Kong still with 8 wickets in the shed, hoping that they won't need them.
It'll be a remarkable partnership if they don't need at least one more, Max, I think, from here. Still need 134 as we go into this 35th over.
Yeah, Hong Kong, they'd love to get a find a way to score a few more off of Van Meeker in here. Oh, it's just kept down a little bit.
Yeah, Nizakat's gone for the pull shot there, but he's played well over the top of it, because that's gone through it barely stump high. Yeah, good line. Nizakat can do no more than tap it through mid-on for another single.
Van Meeker and can he keep going? It's been a big 8 days for him. 31 overs in the first innings of the Fordo game set him up for a big week. And he's charging in here still for his team. Wide, and that's smashed. And we said there was no sweeper out in the offside. And he's just erred in width. The first real bad delivery is bowled. And this time, Bubba Hyatt didn't miss out. And an important boundary to break the shackles there for Hong Kong.
Yeah, and as we said in the previous over, nobody out at deep point, nobody on the offside boundary guarding against that shot. So, as you say, bad ball, very, very nicely dispatched.
Dispatched with intent.
He did. Dare I say, it's gone like the proverbial tracer bullet through the offside. And he's erred in line that time, so overcompensated. Previous delivery was well outside off stump and thumped through the offside. Overcompensated. The next delivery and eased into the leg side, a single. Brings Nizakat on strike. What can he do? Didn't get hold of it. Might have been 1 or 2 in that if he just got the timing right. Seems to be a touch late on that one. There's a bit hands on hips as he walks back to his mark, Van Meeker, and maybe those 31 overs
he looks like
take
he's
its
just
toll.
starting to tire.
He's in again now.
And he goes
Yeah,
wide.
he's short again. That's gone through the leg side. Is he going to go for 4? Yes. Just defeats the man running around from deep long on. Perfect placement. Nizakat. So a good over for Hong Kong. 2 boundaries in that one.
191 for 2. Just got a bit tired at the end of that over, Van Meeker, and a vital boundary. So we take another look at this shot from Nizakat. I don't think he quite got it. A bit high on the bat, but he picked the gap. That's out to the boundary for 4. And it's at the end of the 35th with 15 to go. A slight change in commentary here. I'm going to welcome in Director of Cricket for Hong Kong, Charlie Burke. Eddie, a very good first stint. I'm going to review the tape of how you did and come back. We'll call you Monday, okay? We'll call you.
Speak to my agent.
Yeah.
You've got their number. Thank you very much, Max. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Eddie. And hopefully my replacement will not far away either. Those of you wanting a break from me as well. So it's bunted down the onside for a single. Charlie, this game is placed in a very interesting point.
Yeah, the Dutch haven't given too much away here. Peter Burns bowled stump to stump, mixed his pace up. Almost a bit of a carbon copy of Thursday's game here. Just talking to the Hong Kong coach before, Simon Cook. Just mentioning how crucial it is that these 2 batters at the crease learn from the other day. Geez, he's whacked that. Nizakat Khan leant back, 3 mid-wicket. Over to the pop-up gazebos, the far side of the ground here at Ting Kwong Road. He's known to get a beautiful 30 and 40, Nizakat, for Hong Kong's sake. He's got a push on with that. Going down leg. So Hong Kong 119 required for 87 balls. Very doable here on a excellent surface for batting. Short boundaries, quick outfield. Peter Burren to Nazaka Khan, back of a length. Fielded there by Rudolph van der Meer.
So it's a very big hour for Hong Kong cricket, Charlie.
Certainly is. I'd like to think the series can be tied from a Hong Kong point of view. But it makes that table very interesting. And those in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, I'm sure they're hoping for a Hong Kong victory here, because then keeps top spot only one win away still for the Papua New Guinea side.
Yeah, it's all very tight at the top. Well, it certainly will be if Hong Kong can get home in this one. I am somewhat pleased from a personal point of view that the game has reached a similar stage to one from Thursday. Just an opportunity for Hong Kong to learn their lesson from that first match.
Yep, and that's as the coach in me. That's all you ask for players, is that it's not about perfection, it's about progression. And this is where I think the Hong Kong team can hopefully get over the line. So a bit of hold up and play here as Peter Burren gets the field right for his bowler, Malik. So Hong Kong 197 for 2. Malik to bowl the 37th over from the line rock end. Nazakit, first ball, looks to go downtown and does. 6 over, long off. Bit of intent there from Nazakit Khan early in the over. And the 200 up for Hong Kong. 203 for 2. Malik to Khan. Plays it through mid-wicket. And you get one there. The left arm throw of Sealer. To the keeper's end, Wesley Barassi. Throws it back to Malik. 7 off the first 2 balls of this over. As we've got a replay of Nazakit Khan's 6 over long off. Just gave himself room there, backed away to square. Hit it over long off. So back live here, Malik to the skipper, Bubba Hyatt. Another one here. Good support there from Nazakit Khan. Score moves on to 205 for 2. Somewhat of a psychological barrier once you get below 100 required. So Malik to Khan, he's gone big again. It's gone all the way, it could hit the scoreboard here. It's into the groundsman's shed. That's 6 runs now over long on. Malik, bit of damage in this over. Have another replay here. So he's gone 6 over long off now, 6 over long on. Freed his arms. Fair bit of height on that. Over into the groundsman's area. Back live, Malik to Khan. Follows it up with some mature batting there as he knocks it for a single to long on. The score moves on. Pretty big over here. Big over for Hong Kong. 212 for 2. 37th over. We've got 1 ball left in the over. Malik to Hyatt. No one there as it's mopped up from Van der Meer. So dot ball there to finish the over in what was a very important over for Hong Kong there. So Hong Kong move on to 2 for 112. Malik's over then. Going for 15. 6, 1, 1. 6 over long on, 1, and then finishes up with a dot. Run rate required now for Hong Kong is just under 8, 8 and over. Last 5 overs produced 36 runs for the loss of no wicket for Hong Kong. We're in for a cracking finish here. Make sure you stay tuned. A lot on the line in this game as Peter Burns speaks to his experienced charger, Van der Merwe. Crucial overs here from Van der Merwe. He's bowled 8 overs, so he's got 2 overs left. Rippon, he's got 3 overs left, so we've got 5 overs left of spin from their 2 main spinners. Snate has only bowled the 3 overs. And then the other seamers, apart from Malik, bowled 7 overs. So Van der Merwe to Nazaket Khan. It's bowled him. Exactly the reply they needed. Good wicket there for the Dutch. Nazaket Khan on his way. Played all around that one. It looks like we'll take a quick drink as well. Big wicket for the Dutch.
Yeah, huge wicket. Nazaket Khan again, just not quite able to see it through here today for Hong Kong. It's just done him for pace. Misjudged the length. Roelof van der Merwe had 2 overs left. He's come back and done the job for his team. That will make it a bit trickier for Hong Kong now that Nazaket is gone. Again, doing it quite comfortably.
Yeah, well, not only a wicket to a crucial batter who can really take the game away from you and Nazaket Khan, but it's also going to dry up the run rate. Wickets often do that in one-day cricket. So the new batsman in for Hong Kong. Waqas Khan. Waqas Khan, integral part of the Hong Kong under-19s. This is his 9th one-day match for Hong Kong. Average of just a tick over 22. You'll need all of those today, if not a bit more, to help Hong Kong push forward. So a lot riding on the young shoulders of Waqas Khan.
Yeah, he's a player that I know that Coach Simon Cook holds very highly in the side. He's got a lot of belief in Waqas' ability and a real opportunity for him today to repay that faith. He has definitely improved as a cricketer in the last 12 months. Waqas, so it'll be good opportunity here for him to show the people here what he can do, and more importantly, try and win this match for Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's great to see a lot of your non-traditional cricket supporters here as well. There's quite a few Americans and Canadians in the crowd, and I know the CEO Tim Cutler has managed to recruit some keen followers of the Hong Kong team, which is great. Waqas Khan, first ball, pushes back, defends it back to Van der Merwe.
Tough time to come in when the run rate required is over 8. Now, I don't think Waqas Khan's game is to come in and play the big shots from the get-go, so he's just got to find a way to turn the strike over to Bubba Hyatt here. That's exactly what he's done there with a nice shot down the ground for a single.
It's acknowledged by the long on fielder there, who's just giving him a bit of an applause there for dot, then one. So Bubba Hyatt, a lot resting on his shoulders, the skipper of Hong Kong.
Cuts straight to the fielder. Hit that one well, and there was no one out sweeping there, so if he'd picked the gap, he would have picked up 4.
Very useful over this for the Dutch. He's pushed Bubba Hyatt back again. It's probably the right length to be bowling to the Hong Kong skipper here, as long as you don't give any width. It's pretty dangerous on the front foot.
Smashed
Bit of width there, exactly what I talked about, but he's hit it to the fielder.
That's the end of the over. And a good one there from Rollo van der Merwe, a successful one. Score now 214 for 3.
So the batting to come for Hong Kong. You'd probably imagine Shahid Wasif, the young man who's been brought in to replace Jamie Atkinson today. Will probably be in next, followed by potentially Ehsan Khan and Azaz Khan, Nadeem Ahmed, Tanvir Ahmed, probably Ehsan Nawaz, I think, before. Tanvir Ahmed coming in 11. Malik to continue from the Lion Rock end. We've got a long on, long off, and deep mid wicket, and a deep backward square for the captain Bubba Hyatt, who's on strike. Oh, there's a drop catch there. Would have been a big part of the game here. I think that's gone straight through it. It's gone straight through his hands there. It's one that you need to take. We saw it in the Hong Kong innings with the drop catch at point. Wakas Khan and Bubba Hyatt has been given a lifeline there at cover. Malik again. Nice and tight here. Tight lines to Hong Kong team. Score moves on to 218 for 3. We're in the 39th over.
And that run rate required 8.3. I think that's where Hong Kong, it hasn't gone really far above that. It did just touch 8.5 for a moment, and that's sort of the limits, I think, of where Hong Kong will want it to get to, probably no more than 9 and over. If they can keep it under that, sort of with 5 to go, that's probably got to be their aim at this stage.
Wickets in hand, 10 overs, 90 to 100 runs is not too much out of the question. It's Mission Road. It's always a nice thing to get below that 100 required. Bit of a psychological advantage there. Malik to Wakas Khan, who's tied up a little bit there. Hits him on the pads, no run.
Yeah, good to see the numbers in the stream building up too. We do encourage you, if you're enjoying this coverage, we share it on social media. Let people know that we're broadcasting associate cricket. It's a great promotion for this World Cricket League Championship. So we do encourage you to share on Facebook, Twitter, whatever other social media channels you may be on. Those Nepalese fans on Facebook, they are very enthusiastic, Charlie. watching this game. Their team, of course, will be affected by the outcome of this match, and probably eyeing off Hong Kong for later in the year to see what their team will be up against.
Yep, Hong Kong have 4 more games in the World Cricket League Championship. 2 against Papua New Guinea in the UAE, and before that 2 against Nepal here in Hong Kong.
Interesting that it looks to me like, so Van der Merwe coming off, and I think he's got 1 over left. He's just come on for the 1 and got 1 over left, so Byron wanting to keep his most experienced bowler up his sleeve. He's got Ripon on, I think, who he took off while Nazakit was at the crease.
Yeah, Ripon's got 3 overs left, I think. So crucial to be aware as a batting side what's available up your sleeve as far as overs remaining and what bowlers have got what. So lot of tactics in one-day cricket.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be fascinating to watch how the approach to Ripon. Always when a wrist spinner's in the game in this situation, it always makes things interesting. It's the wrong one to start there as Baba pushing for 2, won't get it. Well done by Van der Merwe, who cuts it off. They just take the single.
I'd just like to see a bit more hustle from the run in between wickets. Just put the fielders under pressure and look for those 2s. They're going to be a big part of this game as the match goes deep into what's sort of the last, I suppose, 45 minutes that we've got.
I want these overs to get through quickly because the beers are running low over there. Woodworm and Lama have got through them all almost. Wakas Khan just loses his shape a little bit there as he goes to play that shot. He's 1 off 6 balls here. He's just got to keep turning the strike over in this situation.
He's looked to advance there. He's come down the wicket. Ripon won't be afraid to toss this one up. Goes to the sweep. It should be taken. Deep square. Wakas Khan, the young man from Lil Sarwan Cricket Club, is back in the sheds.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Wakas Khan. Just got bogged down early in his innings, went for the big shot, the sweep, which is his release shot. But top-edged it out to the fieldsman there. As we just see it, have a look again. Just picked up the top edge. There was a fielder at short fine, a fielder at deep backward square. And a good catch from Max O'Dowd there on the deep backward square boundary.
Yeah, he's twice in the World Cricket League Championship matches. He's got a top edge and 2 different shots, but same result. Caught it deep square. And a fairly comfortable catch. Fairly comfortable catch there from Maxi O'Dowd. So the new batsman to make his way onto Ting Kwong Road, Shahid Wasif.
Very exciting prospect, Shahid Wasif. Looking forward to seeing him in this situation. Bubba Hyatt just plays that one. He's taken off for a quick single, causes a misfield. Very important to reduce the number of dot balls.
Yep, so Shahid Wasif, the young 19-year-old from Lil Sarwan Cricket Club. Also handy keeper. Playing his 10th one-day game for Hong Kong. Highest score of 45. I think that was against Papua New Guinea here, actually. Batted very well that day. Want to improve on that average as his career moves forward. Just touch below 20.
Well bowled from Ripon.
Pretty simple equation here. Netherlands will want to take a few more wickets. Hong Kong have just got to steady the ship here and not panic, push the ball around. Take the game nice and deep, but you've got to have wickets in hand.
It's hit him in the face there. He's gone for the sweeper. He's a very good sweeper, Shahid Wasif. But that one, the wrong one, I don't know if he quite picked, and it bounced a little more, being out the back of the hand. And it's really now probably got to a point here where it's advantage Netherlands here. With 90, got the equation up here to save me doing the maths. 94 from 60. It's still probably lost one wicket or two too many than what they would have wanted for that many runs off the last 10 overs. But it's doable.
Yeah, it's very, very gettable in Hong Kong. I think that's the, some of your missed shots can still go for 4. They're going to be clever here though. We know what the Netherlands are going to do.
See some of our Cricket Hong Kong staff just counting their cash in the back of the box. Probably sounds bad, but it's just from gate takings and gate receipts from the match today. Big appeal. Not given.
Big appeal there.
Lasita Lai and Emmeline worked very hard today to put that event on for the patrons who've come into the ground today. And it's Emmeline's first live cricket tournament that she's worked on, so she's enjoyed it. It's always a pleasure working with staff that are seeing live cricket for the first time.
So Shahid Wasif on strike. Young man pushes it down. Trevor Penny, who's one of the contracted coaching staff for the Hong Kong team, has a pretty big rap on Shahid Wasif. Hopefully he's at home in Canada.
He's not wrong often, Trevor. Short ball. Papa maybe just missing there. They run through for a quick leg by, I fancy. That is the signal from the umpire.
Hong Kong 224 for 4, 91 required. Just inside 10 overs now. So, all to play for, Max.
Hong Kong, got to say, have hit a lot of balls back to the bowler today.
A lot of balls back to the bowl, a lot of balls from mid-wicket and cover.
Be fascinated. I know that the analyst Chris Pickett will have that data, but it's just by general feel, there's been a lot more dot balls in this Hong Kong innings. I think very similar number of boundaries, if not Hong Kong have possibly hit more. Just flicking through those numbers now, hit 14, 16, 17 fours and 7 sixes. Now the Dutch certainly hit more fours, but Hong Kong have hit more sixes.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Last ball of the over here. Tuck Shahid Wasif up.
That's what you were talking about, Charlie. Picks the fielder out, and dot balls at this stage, very important.
Yeah, that's the end of the 41st over. Hong Kong 224 for 4. So you'd imagine, Max, that Bubba needs to be there in the last few overs for Hong Kong to get over the line here.
Absolutely. I mean, you got Ahsan Khan coming in next, who looked in good form. His brief stay, the run chase the other day, before he was adjudged LBW, and he'll be a key man to come. Of course, no Tanvir Afzal today to maybe create a late miracle of sixes, as he can do from time to time. But it rests on this man here, Bubba Hyatt.
Yep, because we know Netherlands obviously going to finish from the Lion Rock end with Van Meekeren. He's bowled beautifully today, number for 25.
Did notice in his last over he just tired a little bit. Bubba goes for the big one, hits it very hard, but it's just well stopped. That would have wrung the hands. And that's the bowling hand too. Might have lost a bit of feeling in it. He just has a fake discussion, I think, with Peter Porrin to try and buy himself some time to get the ring out of that left hand. Bubba would be disappointed he did get that hand on it, because it certainly saved 4. The long on would have hardly had time to move before that one struck the side screen.
Yeah, it's a tracer bullet.
He's doing some fake field changes now while he lets his hand recover. What can Shahid Wasif do here? He's just got to try and get Bubba on strike. Doesn't need to be the hero at this point. Full toss, just knocks it down the ground. Resisting the temptation to try and take a risk on that full delivery.
Can hit out though, Shahid. I probably disagree a little bit with you, Max. I think she's probably got to. He obviously needs to get himself in, but I think he needs to.
Bubba goes and goes long and handsome. That is miles over the softball courts. That's the biggest one we've had today, I reckon. He really got into that, Bubba Hyatt. Is he going to win this game for Hong Kong?
Well, he's not going to die wondering. We know that. That is horns. That is a big shot there by Bubba Hyatt.
Let's take another look at this. I'm looking forward to seeing this again. Just got right to the pitch. Bang.
It's a fairly large maximum onto the baseball fields, which is behind the bowler's arm at this end of the ground, the Victoria Harbour end of the ground. As we just held up in play a little bit. There's Rippon still touching that hand, just trying to get some feeling back and contemplating how that disappeared towards Victoria Harbour.
It is a fair hit to Victoria Harbour from here. Looking at around 2 kilometres. Probably just out of Bubba's range.
There's one man that can do it. He's got number 10 on the back of his shirt.
Oh, we have some silly chat on here sometimes, but don't we love it, Charlie? We've got another great game of cricket on our hands here.
Absolutely. Hong Kong 232 for 4. Flatter, quicker delivery from Rippon. Still one of the best names for a spinner in world cricket. And Shahid Wasif here.
There's that Wrongen. Sweeps with control. Out to deep, backward square.
Gets a big stride forward when he sweeps, doesn't he? I love that. Seen from Ben Cooper. Obviously, he's probably about twice the size of Shahid, but uses his long legs and arms to get down over the top of the ball and sweeps nicely. Bubba Hyatt, I don't think we'll see this one tossed up.
Short, wide, and smash, but straight to the
Missed
fielder.
out there, shot at the stumps. End of the 42nd over here. Hong Kong, 234 for 4. 81 required from 48 deliveries. Don't go away. This game is going down to the wire.
Yeah, this is 10 runs off that over there for Hong Kong. That's what they pretty much need from here on in.
Yeah, right now boundaries are going to hurt Netherlands, wickets are going to hurt Hong Kong. So it's a pretty easy equation, isn't it?
Insightful remarks as always from Charlie Burke as Malik comes in. Just knocked onto the onside. That's the one that's got to be won. That's the one that's got to be won. That is the one that's got to be a single.
Yeah, well again that mid-wicket. I think Van der Merwe's earned his money today. Fielding there. Peter Burren at quite a bizarre position where Peter Burren is. He's just in front of, just behind square. Oh! It's gone all the way. A couple of the Netherlands boys jumping up in the field trying to help the long on fielder out, and that's gone for the maximum.
Yeah, on this occasion it's Shahid Wasif who's opened the shoulders. Bubba Hyatt coming down, giving him a word of encouragement, but that's what they need pretty much every over. Is just a boundary. Shahid Wasif picked this one up. Didn't quite get it, but cleared the fielder comfortably. This one's put back of a length. Well played by Shahid Wasif. Knocks it into the outfield. They'll come back for 2. That's good cricket. The crowd starting to sense here that it's really go time for Hong Kong. Hope you're enjoying this coverage. Do encourage you to share the stream. Let people know that there's a great game of cricket going on here between two nations with a lot at stake. Coming round the wicket now. Didn't find the gap on this occasion.
Yeah, big over this one. Malik, he's just sort of bowls that pace where he can't have a lot of error in his line or length.
Seifan gets it into the gap. That's going to be 4 runs. So this really has been a good over for Hong Kong. See if we can get the home crowd behind their team here.
So Malik into his 8th over, number 50. A replay of this boundary coming up here. He's come around the wicket. Great shot down there to third man back live. Malik still around the wicket. Shahid, that's the area that Max and I have spoken about where he needs to look for one there. End of the over. The Dutch, can they hold on for another win? Hong Kong, 69 required from 42 balls. Certainly gettable here on a great batting surface. Got the Hong Kong crowd behind them.
69 of 42 required. Let's see your support for Hong Kong here this last 45 minutes.
Change of bowler here. Peter Boren will come on from the Victoria Harbour end. So just taking a bit of time here to change the field. Good to see the MC firing the crowd up here in Hong Kong.
Either didn't have enough level or was not interesting enough.
So Van Meeken has 3 remaining. Snater 7, Boren 3, Rippon 1, Van der Merwe 1, Malik 2, and the skipper Bubba Hyatt 64 next to his name. Knocks it out to deep mid wicket.
What a game of cricket here. Charlie, 2 fantastic games of cricket in this World Cricket League Championship. All to play for now.
I'm going to say it. Peter Boren and Malik are the bowlers that I feel Hong Kong need to look to make a bit of damage.
Yeah, agree with you on that one.
Got Van Meeken, obviously he will come on, bowl back of a length, 4 out on the leg side from the Lion Rock end. It's hard to get away. Peter Boren to skipper Bubba Hyatt.
It's into the gap. Is that going to go all the way? The fielder takes the dive. Slight fumble, but they would have got 2 anyway. 2 runs is a good result.
That's the 250 up for Hong Kong. 43.3 overs. Another 65 required for victory. I sense the skipper, Bubba Hyatt, is fully aware that he needs to be there near the end of this. Peter Boren, fairly tidy over so far. In at Shahid Wasif, nice and full. Almost yorked himself there over stride. Dot ball, crucial dot ball. Every dot ball is crucial for the Netherlands. As the ring fielders just drop back inside, or drop back, I should say, on the circle. Got long on, long off. Deep mid-wicket, deep square, and a sweeper on the offside. Boren to Shahid. It's knocked in just to the cover region. Let's pick up the single. Won't be disappointed with that over whatsoever, and won't be disappointed with the single. It's been picked up. Good to see the Lama Cricket Club.
Very subdued today, the Lama boys.
I think they're just on the edge of their seats, Max. I think everyone wants to see a Hong Kong victory, obviously, that are here in Hong Kong, supporting the home team. Great to see a number of Dutch supporters as well. Speak of the devil, we've got Van Meekeren. We'll see 4 out on the leg side here. We'll see a deep square, a deep mid-wicket. Sorry, a deep backward square, deep square, deep mid-wicket, and a long on, I would imagine, and probably be bowling a fairly heavy length.
63 off 36. So 6 overs, 63 runs, 10 and over needed. Very doable. They've kept wickets in hand. I like the fact they've played it pretty deep here, Hong Kong. They've not panicked too early. They've been able to keep things in check. Perhaps one more over of 8 or 9, and if they can get it, it's easier said than done, and really look to put the foot down. But at least they've got 2 batsmen in. Gives them a much better chance. So Van Meekeren back into the attack now. Interesting to monitor how he comes back here. He just looked like he was getting a little tired towards the end of that spell, which is understandable. It's a pretty big 8 days where you have a 4-day match and two one-day games on the back of not much cricket at all. It's been a big effort from the tall fast bowler, but the skipper needs one more spell from him here. But he'll be a little stiff and sore on this first delivery, I'd have thought. You're not a fast bowler if you're not.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think also what Fieldy's got set. He's got a third man, a sweeper on the offside. This comes in to Wasif.
It's well played by Shahid Wasif, not getting too tucked up there, able to still get that one away.
Just plays it around the corner, plays it sensibly.
Is it Bubba Hyatt here against the pace, or Shahid Wasif? Who's the...
I'd say Bubba Hyatt. He's obviously the set batter. Bubba Hyatt gets 100 here, Hong Kong win. There's a lot riding on his shoulders, but he's the skipper, he's the leader. He's the man for this moment. So a big opportunity for the Hong Kong skipper to get the red and black over the line.
Guys cleared the front leg. I think he was trying to hit it a little squarer, but still picked up a single. It's okay for Hong Kong as long as they don't want his dot balls. They can tick over the singles when the boundary ball comes, put it away. That's all that's needed.
I was in the box with Tim Cutler the other day with the last few overs, so I'm hoping it was Tim's fault. Put the jinx on the team and I'm the good luck. Meekeren, Shahid Wasif, swatting it away to mid-wicket. Picks up the single there. So 3 singles so far this over. 60 required now of 33. It's getting to that, creeping up to that 12 and over. 12 and over starts getting dangerous. That's where you need multiple boundaries and over. Van Meekeren into Bubba Hyatt. Hyatt rocks back. We know this is going to be their plans with the length, having 4 out on the leg side. Single there, deep mid-wicket. So 4 singles this over. He's a handy bowler, isn't he? And Meekern,
Yeah.
in this situation, he did it on Thursday. He doesn't go your traditional up in the block hole and your slower balls and your Yorkers. He's hitting a back of a length hard, 4 out on the leg side.
Oh, we might have missed out there, Shahid Wasif. All down the leg side, but it's just to knock it round for 1. So 5 singles from this over. Kind of needs something more from the last ball in this over.
Yeah, Bubba Hyatt just asking umpire Dar how many balls remaining. I would suggest he's going to go a bit deeper in his crease for this delivery. A few new bats getting ready to be run out to Bubba. I think he may have towed the last delivery. So he's still in his normal stance in the crease. Van Meekern to Hyatt. He's hit that nice and hard. It's a dot ball. That's a great over. Terrific over for the Dutch. Great over for Van Meekern. It was probably one that was a bit fuller pitched, and especially with mid-off up. So the tunes are out. The spectators just probably feeling that the Dutch have just got their noses in front. Boren to bowl. I think this is a big over. No disrespect to Boren. He's a crafty cricketer. He's a smart cricketer. Just feel that with what's going to come at the other end, this is a crucial over. Hong Kong 257 for 4. And we have Shahid Wasif 20 off 20. Bubba Hyatt 69 off 72. 58 runs required from the last 5 overs. Wickets in hand. It's one thing Hong Kong have got in their favour. But the Netherlands have a bowler by the name of Van Meekern that still needs to bowl his 2 overs from the other end.
So trying to put Boren off his length there by stepping forward as he was coming in to deliver. Boren up to the challenge and only concedes the single. It's really getting to boundary time here for Hong Kong. Can Bubba Hyatt deliver? Where will he be eyeing off here, Charlie? I'm going to assume he's going to look for a boundary this ball.
Yeah, he's going to have to go straight. Boren will be fully aware of that and won't want to over-pitch. I'm not convinced having the sweeper out in the offside. I'd almost go third man, but let's wait and see. Hyatt. He's hit that like a rocket. No one's stopping that. That's 4 runs straight down the ground. Much needed boundary for Hong Kong.
Yeah, much needed. It pretty much needed to be a couple of boundaries from this over, and that's one of them. Bubba Hyatt almost taking benefit from the fact Boren was obviously so concerned about over pitching that just dropped a bit short, and it just sat up and whacked down past the stumps. There was 2 men back that had no chance.
All right, so we've gone leg by 1-4. We've got the 3rd delivery to Hyatt. Oh, that's a good bit of fielding, I believe. That could make a big difference to the game there. That's a great piece of fielding out there at deep mid-wicket. Fantastic effort there.
Looks like the debutant Snyder out there, very tough to see in that sunlight. Boren's got some thinking to do here. He's sort of going back of a length and Bubba's put him away. He's gone short. Probably feels he can't afford to pitch up. Might go for a change of pace. If he does, it goes horribly wrong and almost beats the keeper. That was a good stop from Parisi. That could easily run down for 5 wides.
It was a bobble, wasn't it? It's bobbling about, and
it's a bit of late leg spin.
Umpire Dar just putting his arms out. We said at the start of the over, Max, that this is a crucial over for both teams. Hyatt getting most of the strike at the moment's critical. Can't overpitch here.
One just kept low. Run through, everyone's diving. Great commitment from the skipper. He's regretting that now as he plenty of dust in the face. But he picks himself up. Might regret that dive later on this evening.
Associate cricket, it's live and well, Max. What a terrific game of cricket we have had the last week and a half with the I-Cup match, which was a great fight back from the Netherlands after Hong Kong controlling the opening days. And then Hong Kong were in a good position in Game 1 of the World Cricket League Championship on Thursday. Netherlands stuck to their guns, got over the line, and we've got another cracker here. Hong Kong, 49 off 26 required.
So it is a big advantage for the Netherlands in this situation to have Van der Merwe go over talk to Peter Boren. They've played a lot of cricket, and that's where that experience, perhaps that Hong Kong don't have, really counts in a situation like this. Full half volley, gets under it. Has he got enough on it? He hasn't. Fielder takes an easy catch. It was there to be hit, just miscued from Shahid Rasif. And Peter Boren takes the wicket as the Netherlands just edge closer in this game to nailing Hong Kong. And Shahid Rasif will be a bit disappointed because the ball was in the slot.
Yeah, look, it was there to hit. Just didn't execute the skill. The one thing I will say, as we look at the replay here, Boren. Shahid, we'll see if he's certainly got some height on it there. Easy catch there by Cooper at long off. I would say Bubba Hyatt's on strike for the last ball. Gutsy, but we're getting to the nitty gritty of the game here.
I'll tell you what, from a Hong Kong perspective, that heart's in the mouth here. I'm not sure where Tim Cutler is at the moment, but he'll be the CEO of Cricket Hong Kong. He'll be thinking, oh no, not again here.
Lama boys just, I think, congratulating Cooper on a good catch down there in front of their tent. So Ehsan Khan has come and joined Bubba Hyatt. He's at the non-strikers. Probably a bit of a rough decision in the first game. Looked all right. He's going to have to support his skipper here. Bubba Hyatt, last ball from Boren.
Just to take the single. So they were, at least from Hong Kong's point of view, they did lose a wicket, but they did manage to score 10 runs from it, which just sort of keeps them going here now with 4 to play. 48, it's a pretty big ask. 48 to win, 12 and over, but it's very doable on this ground. You can have an over an 18 or 20 here, but it's going to take some good hitting, and both these batsmen can clear the boundary. Van Meekeren coming in for what? He's still got 2 overs to go. I know Van der Merwe's got an over up his sleeve. I'm sure he won't be left with 9 at the end of the game. And then there'll be one other, maybe Boren planning to bowl out himself next over and leave Van der Merwe to bowl the last.
Yeah, well, he's done a good job here, Boren. He's gone for only 6. Rippon's obviously still got one up his sleeve.
White clears the front leg, but won't find the gap. Just be a single. And that's just fine for the Netherlands at the moment. Ehsan Khan, a tough ass to have to come in and clear the boundary from ball 1.
Just feel Bubba's just starting to lose his shape a little bit, just leaning back a bit too much and sort of pinning his ears back rather than holding that shape and trying to get those quick hands through the ball. Bit of a chat between the two batters.
Ehsan hoping to fox a wide there, but that was pretty much over the top of middle stump after he'd stepped inside.
47 off 22, Max.
And the man's back at deep fine leg, so it was an unusual.
Bubba's the Need to get him on strike. He's going to be the match winner if Hong Kong get over the line. Could be a little bit of panic starting to set in. Are we going to see something similar to what we saw on Thursday with Hong Kong? Or are we going to see someone really step up here? Another great wicket here. Another great wicket that's been prepared. The crowd have stuck around. We've got a great last few overs remaining. Van Meekeren into Ehsan Khan. Swings him off his feet.
No pressure, Bubba, with a couple of balls left in the over. He's not left with much. He's really got to find a boundary or two in these couple of balls. Don't want to be needing more than 40 off 3 overs. And it becomes doable, but it's taking some very special hitting. And to be honest, the whole Hong Kong innings, they've kept things ticking over, but probably it's been only in very brief patches where they've looked like really finding a big over. So big deliveries here. Makes some room and clips it. He's hit it beautifully. That's the 6 that Hong Kong needed. Bubba Hyatt under pressure. Van Meekeren followed him, but the hands of Hyatt just whipped through the ball. And there were 2 men out, but it didn't matter as it cleared the fence. A vital shot there from Bubba Hyatt.
You're asking for it, Max. You've got it. The skipper is going to stand up here.
Let's take another look at this. Van Meekeren followed him, but that's a great shot from that position to get the power to hit it for 6.
Just keeps the bowler guessing too when you're giving yourself room for the offside. There's no one out there on the offside to provide any.
And again, it was there to be hit, but Hyatt picks out the fielder. Got a save from Van Meekeren bowling to the field here. They've basically got 4 men out for the short ball here. And they're the tactics, and the bowler delivering to them.
Yeah, been very impressed with Van Meekeren. I think he bowled well in the I Cup, bit of pace. He's bowled well in these 2 World Cricket League matches, and he's got 6 more balls of the Hong Kong tour.
So Boren will bowl out here. There's the Llama boys. Hope they're giving some stick down there, just some friendly banter to the Netherlands boys on the boundary.
So we've got Boren, the skipper to skipper. This is the over, Max. This is the over that's.
Oh, that's in the air. Has he got enough on it? This could be the wicket. No, it's just short. Tough to pick up out there in the deep. They come back for 2. There's a chance of a run out. Close and given. That could be game over. He had to take the risk to get back on strike. It was very tight. It was a good throw. And the Dutch boys celebrate. They know that could be the game.
Licorice all sorts. This delivery, similar shot to what he played for. Diving effort there in the field. Good effort in the end, really. Stop that. They've had to come back for 2. Bubba Hyatt caught short, run out. Hong Kong 277 for 6. Netherlands more than noses in front now, with 2 new batters at the crease. Boren to Azaz Khan, the new batsman. Pushes it down to long on. Malik, the fielder there.
Well, what's realistic from the last 2 overs? Charlie, with these 2 in, what's a realistic score that could be achieved?
You said before, I mean, both of them can clear the rope. The Netherlands haven't done a lot wrong here. They're bowling to their fields, as you said.
In the air, should be just short. This is where you just wonder if it's the difference between the two sides. Is this that experience of Boren and Vandermeer and guys that have played a lot of cricket, able to really execute some good plans here at the end of the innings?
Yeah, absolutely.
When the pressure's been on in both games. Oh, swing and a miss, not far away from the stumps. Lucky to survive there, Azaz Khan, as that ball almost dribbled through past the stumps.
Yep, 36 off 14, the equation. 2 new batters at the crease.
Off the toe of the bat. Keeper happy to let the bye through. Keen Azaz Khan. It's going to take, I'm going to say, need a 6 from this ball. 4 or 6 from this ball.
Both batters, again, similar to what Bubba was doing near the end of his innings there, but just leaning back, losing shape. Still got to stick to the basics and what's required.
Khan eyeing off the leg side. Gets a half volley.
Almost had to go 2 then. End of the over. Hong Kong 281 for 6. 48 overs completed. 12 balls required. 34. So 17 required, 17 and over. It's going to have to be one big over, and I'm not sure it's going to be from this end.
It's going to need 2 pretty big ones, with 17 and over needed, probably beyond the reach of Hong Kong at this point, but you never know. Field set with a deep mid-wicket, probably 2 deep mid-wickets, 2 other men out on the hook, so fair indication that the ball's going to be short, mid-off's up. Unless you back yourself almost to hit it off a length over mid-off. One option.
I think that's what Bubba was looking to do. Sessan Khan on strike, Van Meekeren.
The Dutch voices now ringing louder than those in the crowd who sense that Hong Kong are in a bit of trouble here. Look good again for a lot of this chase, but just haven't had the batting in the middle lower order to be able to really give a kick at the end of the innings. Another short ball and another ball missed into the guts of Azaz Khan, who on his haunches again. Disappointing here for Hong Kong. Disappointing that not even too close at the moment. They're going to end up further away than they probably should have. This time he's got onto it. That's over the fielder. Well, it had to be 6, and it was. There's more of them needed, but it just keeps the flame alight slightly for Hong Kong. It's almost extinguished. But Hassan Khan finally, stayed a bit stiller. And this time was able to clear the boundary. Let's take another look at that shot. Smashed away. Back to live action here. Weeks away. Almost got to come back for 2 here. They can't. 25 from 8. They want to got to get it under 20 to have any kind of realistic hope in the last over. It's been an exciting game yet again. Can Azaz Khan do something special here? Miscue was there. They might be able to pick up 2, but the outfielding of the Netherlands has been very good in these final overs. 24 off 7 now. Pretty much must boundary ball here.
Yeah, you're right, Max. Got to get it to 20 or under for the last over to have any hope. It's going to be a new bowler from the other end is the only thing that might be a slight advantage.
Yeah, I see Hassan Malik warming up. I thought maybe they might have gone with Van der Merwe. And he hits that one again. Has he got enough on it? It's taken. Good effort from Hassan Khan. He had to go for it. And Van Meekeren celebrates. Netherlands almost home now. And a great effort from them in this game as Hong Kong look like they'll fall just short again here.
Toss has been crucial, Max, and see the replay.
Not much more he could have done there, Hassan Khan. I mean, he's
just need to get it square, didn't he? But
yeah.
It was there to hit. He had to hit it. He only too well knew that there was 4 people on the boundary. There is the President, Mr. Rodney Miles, and the Dutch Consul General down there in the Cricket Hong Kong hospitality area. Good to have them along.
So Hassan Malik with the enviable task of defending 24. It's a bit of a no-win situation here. Certainly want to just get through the first ball. And that first one disappears, the nerves will go up. So it looks like the batsman crossed there, did they? Or no?
Yeah.
New over. So we got it's hit away, but not into the gap. Just a single. Bowler will be feeling a lot better now.
Got to be hustling for 2 there, surely.
Yeah, just to jog through for a single with 24 off the last over needed. Hassan Nawaz. Is he capable, Charlie?
Needs to put Azaz on strike here.
Oh, he's in the air. Got to run hard here. But only just a single. So 4s and 6s only from here, Charlie. 22 off 4. It's been a great effort from the Netherlands. Once again, put under pressure by the Hong Kong top order batsman.
Azaz Khan. Malik bowling to him. Long off up. Needs to go over the top.
Skewed to cover, and that's the ball game. The Netherlands, what a tour for them after conceding 527 on the opening innings of the 4-day match. Conceded a 240-run lead on the first innings, and since that time, they've really turned things around.
Stuck to their bowling plans, stuck to their game plans. Malik. Oh, hello.
That one's out of here. Too little too late for Hong Kong. It does bring up the 300. They'll be a bit disappointed. They've scored 300 in 2 matches and not got over the line.
You don't get that often in one-day cricket, but good shot there from Hassan Nawaz, whose slight knee injury that he picked up today. It's a good shot, that. It's actually gone out of the ground too, which 6 over long on. So 2 balls remaining, 15 runs. Malik just needs to make sure he's got his front foot behind the line.
So this pretty much, well, this does put Hong Kong out of the running for the World Cricket League Championship. Well, for the Netherlands, it really puts them in the box seat.
Yeah, absolutely, and well done to the Dutch. Travelled a long way to get here. They're out of season, stuck to their game plans. Well done to Peter Boren and their support staff.
And that's up in the air. Has he got enough on it? And taken. A great way for the Dutch to finish this tour. They've won both these World Cricket League Championship matches. And a great effort from them. Hong Kong for 13 runs short, 14 short of the target. So 2 very close one-day matches by 5 runs and 13 runs. But those small margins mean a lot in the context of this tournament. A fantastic couple of matches. But unfortunately for Hong Kong, nothing to take from it.
Yeah, disappointing from a Hong Kong point of view. But as I said, fantastic effort from Peter Boren, Chris Adams and the Dutch team. Thoroughly deserved. Stuck to their plans, played good hard cricket. Never put their heads down, and they would certainly be very impressed with their tour of Hong Kong. We've loved having you guys. Thank you very much for coming. Hope that one day we can visit you guys in Amsterdam. Thanks to all the crowd and that have come along and supported not only the I Cup and the 2 World Cricket League matches, but Hong Kong cricket in general. Big thanks obviously to the match officials, Tabrak Dar, Buddy Pradhan, Ian Thompson, the on-field and reserve umpires, and the scorers. As you see, both teams shaking hands. Both teams get along pretty well. Both know how hard it is and how much is at stake at this level. And it's a fantastic effort. We'll have the post-match interviews and the post-match presentation with Max Abbott in about 5 minutes' time. So please stick around to see who has won the man of the match. I dare say it will be someone in orange. And I suppose in summary, a great tour for them because they've won all 3 man of the match awards. So big congratulations to the Dutch. Do stick around. We'll have a man of the match presentation in the next 4 to 5 minutes.
Well, another fantastic match played here today in the second ICC World Cricket League Championship match between the Netherlands and Hong Kong. A very similar game to the first. The Netherlands batting first, putting lots of runs on the board, this time 314. The Hong Kong side once again going very close, but ultimately coming up just short. We're going to have a quick presentation here, but before we get that, I do just want to thank a couple of people for helping us put on this event. It was a fantastic atmosphere at the ground today, and thanks to all the supporters and fans who came out today to support both teams, so thanks very much. Also to our match referee, Dev Govinji, who's been here for the last couple of weeks. Thank you, Dev. It's a tricky ground to manage here, so we thank you for your patience and for your time here in Hong Kong, so thank you, Dev. To the umpires, Tabarak Dar, Buddy Pran and Ian Thompson, a big thank you to them. And a big applause for the scorers and all the volunteers who give up their time over the weekend here to make this event possible. So a big thank you to them. And of course, from a Cricket Hong Kong point of view, big thanks as well to our sponsors, Regal Hotels and to Woodworm, who've both been here today. Fantastic to have them on board. So next up, I'm going to bring up the man of the match. And I did say it was a similar match to the first one. And that is, we also have the same winner of this award, and it's Michael Rippon. Michael scored 53 and took 2 for 57. We've got the ICC High Performance Manager, Richard Doan, here to present him his award. And Michael will just have a quick chat. Well, here we are again, Michael, same result. And you've got another Man of the Match award to take home. Well done. You must be thrilled.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I don't think I really deserve this, to be honest. I think it was a great team effort by every player on our side. And, we came here wanting to win 2 games. We've done that, so job well done.
And they've both been very closely fought matches. What's been the key to getting your side over the line?
I'm not sure, really. Just probably clarity and sticking to the plans. Hong Kong, they're in the game for both games. And, luckily we came on top this time. And, I don't even know what to say, really.
Was it in the back of the players' minds knowing that there's this proposal put forward for the 13-team ODI League? Did that add any weight to these matches?
Yeah, look, it's massive, obviously a couple of years ago in the qualifiers we lost our one-day international status and stuff, so this was massive for us. And look, it's still a long way to go. We've got 4 more big games, but hopefully we come on top and can become the 13th side again.
Well bowled, well batted, and all the best for the future. Michael Rippon, man of the match in both games. I guess that definitely makes him man of the series by that ranking. Next up, we'll just have a chat with the Hong Kong captain, who also top scored for his side today with 86 runs, Bubba Hyatt. Bubba, commiserations, but I suppose there have been positives for your side. How do you feel after 2 tight losses?
Obviously, there are a lot of positives come out. We're chasing it. Chasing 315 always is tough. So there are a lot of positive, and I know there's a lot of talent in the squad.
How are the boys feeling now in the dressing rooms?
I think they have. We should have obviously if win does matter. So a bit of disappointed that we played in a home ground. So yeah.
And what's next for you guys now?
We playing Blitz T20 here, and then we got rest, a bit of time.
I know you enjoy your rest, Bubba, so enjoy it. Commiserations on the match today, but very well batted. Bubba Hyatt. And finally, to wrap up our presentation, I'll get the captain of the Netherlands side, Peter Boren, with his slightly dirty jersey after that dive in the final overs there. Peter, that sort of was indicative of the commitment of your side at the end of the match there.
Yeah, I think a really good team performance from us, and 315, we were pretty happy with that at half time, with the wicket just starting to get a little bit tired, and you'd have to give credit to, again, Unchman and Bubba, who, they've just batted for the last 9 or 10 days. We've spent all day chasing balls from those 2, and it's, credit to them. A little bit unlucky that they haven't, they deserve better than what they've got here. So, but for us, we're over the moon with 4 points from these 2 games here.
It's not easy to come away from home as well. I imagine you have any matches left back at home, or what's left for you in these last 4 games?
No more games at home. We've got
what's happening there?
We've got 2 games against Kenya and then 2 against Namibia to wrap up this World Cricket League. Obviously, I think we'll be targeting trying to win it now. We're ahead in the comp, and obviously these were big games, and if we can, we'll go 1 game at a time. But our next game's not for months, probably 7 or 8 months. So we've got this to look back on, and we can be very proud, I think, of how we've gone about the last week or so. The fight that we've shown, I guess, against a very good Hong Kong team. I'd like to thank Hong Kong Cricket as well. Put on a great, been fantastic host for us. I know that the coverage has been fantastic. I've had nothing but good feedback. And sorry that we couldn't share the points, I guess, but we'll take them. And we look forward to either hosting you guys in the Netherlands or coming back here soon. It's been really good.
Yeah, and have you had much of an opportunity to sort of get out? I mean, it's a fairly intense period, but how have you found Hong Kong? Certainly the weather's turned it on.
The weather's been fantastic. Played a lot of darts in the evenings. Couple of pints, I suppose. But generally, no, we haven't done too much. Maybe this evening we'll have a couple of beers and celebrate what's been a tough tour, a very hard-working tour, and one where we've showed a lot of character. So probably deserve that.
Well, you've earned it. So congratulations to you, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Byron, the Netherlands captain. Well, that wraps up our coverage here, and it wraps up this home series here between the Hong Kong and the Netherlands. But we're only 2 or 3 weeks away now from the Hong Kong T20 Blitz, which is, of course, now just upon us with some of the world's biggest stars coming to join the very best players here in Hong Kong. So join us then, and that's all for now.